yeah. What's happening, everybody? It's Saturday night on Untethered Live Politi-tics. I'm your host, Jake Johnson, and joining me always is the bandhammer, Amanda.
Howdy, Untethered Live.
What's going on out there on a Saturday night? Are you ready to politicize, vitalicize, correcticize, metabolize, jingleize? I'm lost. I don't know what I'm talking about. Big John's here. He says, hello, everybody. Big John. What's up, my brother? You get the gold star for being first in chat. How's it going across the pond? Nice to see you. Come on in. Take your shoes off. Lady B's behind you says, hey, Nugget, and everyone. Hi, Lady B. Nice to see you. Lady B says, first to like the live. Nice. Get them likes. We need them. 42 people in chat, only 6 likes. That math ain't mathing. Come on, y'all. Hit them like buttons. It's free. Right in front of you there. Come on, let's get it going. Get it going. Amy Elizabeth is here. She says, hi, John, and hi, Lady B. Hi, Amy. Nice to see you. Amy says, Peter 5, 6, and 7. Humble yourselves. Then, under God's mighty hand, so that he will lift you up in his own good time. Amen. Leave all your worries with him, because he cares for you. Amen. That's a great one. Nice and true. You see, he doesn't want you to puff yourself up. He wants to puff you up, but he can't do that if you're in the way. You got to humble yourself so that he can, you must decrease so that he can increase. That's how that works. It's very true. Nice. Good one. Big John says, how you all doodling? Fantastic. How you doodling? Amy says, I'm tired. I worked 10 hours overtime today. Me too. I probably won't stay the whole shift. Please press the like button and share, subscribe. It's free. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that very much. And true. And free. But, yes, working is a thing we do. Lots of it. Amy says, how's the hand, John? Everybody give John a big round of applause. Let's give John a hand.
He could use some.
Lady B says, hey, Amy, heart. And Big John says, white. Smiley face. It's okay, how you? The hand is white? Because what? Because it's cut off circulation? Got it.
Cast on it,
Cast on it, yep. Amy says, hi, Jake. How are you doing? I am fine. A little frazzled. Had a rough day, long day. And at the end of the day, my truck petered out on me. So I got to do some mechanicking in the morning. Figure out what's going on with that thing. It's probably going to cost an arm and a leg. That's the nature of the game. Can't have nothing. Other than that, though, I'm doing pretty good. I had a nice big steak dinner with baked potato and yams and a salad. It was lovely. And 2 cookies and a half of a nap. Kind of a nap. Not really a nap. I was awake the whole time, but I got to rest for a minute. And then on with the show, baby. On with the show. The show must go on. Ain't that right?
Yep.
You know how it is. Thank you. Amy says, no, Lady B says, said hey earlier, Nugget. Yeah, you did. I read it. And hey, Jake and Amanda. Heart. Hey, Lady B. How are you? I read that too. Nice to see you.
Hi, lady.
Big John says, hey, Lady B. Good to see you. Amy says, IU beat UCLA in football 56-6. Woot, woot.
Wow.
That's a big score. That's a lot of sixes.
Yeah.
And Lady B says, I hope all is well. Did you ever soak your hand and warm up some salts and water? That would be bad because it has a cast on and it would get all soggy. You ever put toilet paper in water? It'd be like that, only grosser. Victor Del Vito is here. Hello, Victor, my friend. Nice to see you. Victor says, evening, folks. Jake, how are you, sir? Fantastic. How are you, my friend? I am exciting. I am dripping with beauty and electricity. My mustache is tingling with joy.
Ooh.
Or, I'm here. Whichever one of those sounds better. Lady B says, hey, Vic and family, smiley face. Amy says, hey, Vic. Big John says, I have a plaster cast on it. It would be gross. Right. Lady B says, oh, that's right. You did mention that last night. Lady B says, got to get the old wire coat hanger and scratch it if it itches. That's one way to do it. Or a butter knife. Just get it in there. Double as a weapon. Vic says, Hannah says hi as well, and she wants to watch again. Hi, Hannah.
Hi, Hannah.
Nice to see you. Come join us. You keep watching the show, we're going to have to talk to the parents about getting you your own account. I don't know how they feel about that. You know, that's their thing. But
she'd probably only be able to watch certain nights, I'm sure.
I would imagine so. But you're welcome to watch anytime. We love having you. Vic says, and Mabel will be here soonish. Understood. Got things to do. Got it. Lady B says, y'all have a great evening. Talk to you later on tonight. Maybe. Well, that was abrupt. You have a great evening too, Lady B. We love you. And hopefully, maybe you'll come back. Don't leave me hanging, though. Don't leave a bro hanging. Big John says, Amy, not at the moment. In a couple of weeks, it will definitely stink and itch.
Cornstarch will be your best friend.
Or some brute. Yeah, get some cologne and pour down in it. Something. Disinfect it and make it smell better. Oh, yeah. Amy says, here across the pond, John, they typically use soft casts for broken bones. You must have really done a number on your hand. Sending love. That's sweet. Thank you, Amy. I'm sure he needs it too, especially if it's a hand he uses a lot.
Yeah.
That cast don't feel so good on the soft parts. I mean, there's a time and place for everything, but, you know. Lady B says, Vic, how old is Hannah? How old is Hannah? You never ask a lady how old she is, don't you? Have you ever heard that? Vic says she is 14. More like 14 going on 30, I bet. I have a young daughter, I understand. Lady B says, oh, okay. I thought she was 6 or 7. Nope, 14 going on 20. See, I told you. I knew it. I could tell. Lady B says, she will get her learner's permit to drive next year, Hannah. They're in Canada, so it's probably different. I don't know how that works up there. They probably have like horse carriage licenses or something. Some kind of mounty thing. Who knows? Amy says, message retracted. Vic says, actually, in Alberta, she can already go get her learner's permit, lady. She will when she's ready. Right on. Probably has a mounty thing. Lady B says, Victor, it won't be long and she will spend all her time with her friends. Enjoy these days while you can. My son and I went to a haunted house and an amusement park until he got too big for his britches. Right on. Well, that does happen when they get older. They want to go do their thing. It's understandable. Hang out with the gross old parents. They don't do that. Amy says, teach her to drive a stick shift first, and then after that, everything will seem easy and simple.
Yep.
True, but I don't think they make stick shifts anymore. And if they do, I hadn't seen one in years.
Well, yeah, they're in the foreign cars and sports cars, but yeah. You can find them.
I think the average everyday car is a standard, automatic.
Yes, it is.
Lady B says, my son is 32 now. He's married with 2 sons and a mortgage. I miss him being Hannah's age. Oh, yeah. They won't stay that small forever, that's for sure. And the time goes by like that. And then you spend all your time looking back. You got to get squared up with what's going on, though. If you spend all your time looking back, you'll run into things. Lady B says the birds and the bees first and then a stick shift. Oh, no. No, no, no. No, we beat people up for that. No. Victor says she is not so fond of the idea of driving yet, but that's okay. She will get to it in her own time. Right on. Yeah, that's a unusual thing about this particular generation. I've noticed ain't a lot of drivers. They don't like to drive. My son doesn't drive. That was the first thing I wanted to do. I was like 10. I was like, when can I drive? Can I drive now? I'm gonna get a car. Can I drive now? And I did. From like 11 on, I was driving. It just seemed like the thing you had to do. That was part of being an adult, and it ain't that anymore. There's something else going on. That is strange. For as long as I've been aware, even my parents, driving was the thing that made you free. Now you can go places if you're cool because you got a car. They don't care about it anymore. I blame Roblox. They ruined it for everybody. Lady B says, my niece graduated high school 2 years ago, and she was in a bad wreck with her mom, and her close friend was in a wreck, and it was fatal. She will never drive. She's 20 now. It traumatized her. I bet. That'll do it. Got to be very careful these days, or any days, for that matter. And Vic says, Hannah says she likes being a passenger princess like Mom. Right on. You be a princess, baby. You let them drive you around. Get in less trouble that way. And no interest in driving, but I will teach her when I'm back home for good. Let me tell you what, though. That is that's prime dad real estate right there. Driving, shaving, fighting, boys, if it's a girl, things like that. That's when dad really comes in clutch. You will never feel more proud of anything than those few years where you're teaching them the essential stuff, how to hold down a job or whatever it is you're teaching them. You'll be very proud of that. No rush, though. You take all the time you need because life ain't going nowhere. Lady B says, I bet she is beautiful. She needs a tiara since she's a passenger princess. I love it. And Vic says, one of many things I am excited to do in the dad role. You and I think just alike. I was just saying that. And yes, thank you, Lady B. She is very pretty and very smart. Like I said, 14 going on 20, acts grown and gets treated like she is. It's true that girls mature faster than boys. That's not always true when it comes to intellect. It's more like the physical maturity. But in some cases, I've noticed that girls get wise way faster than guys do. And that's a beautiful blessing that you have there. If she's got her head on her shoulders, that's going to save you a lot of heartache in the future. Believe that.
Nugget, here's your gold star.
Oh, got your gold star. Lady B says, I went to the fire department fish fry tonight, and I ended up helping. Fish was delicious and had a blast volunteering. Nice. Was it like a charity drive or something like that? I used to do things like that back in the day.
Hi, Nugget, Lady Amy, and Vic.
Hi.
Hi.
And Vic says, hi, Amanda, how do you do? How you do?
I's a good.
He asked how you do.
I's a good.
You do good? Kevin Bernard, what's up, St. Bernard? Nice to see you, my friend. I've been worried about you, brother. How you doing? Good to see you. Come on in. Take your shoes off.
Hi, Kevin.
Kevin says, hello, Jake, Amanda, and everyone. Hi, buddy. Nice to see you. Everybody asked about you last night. We told them you were locked up in Debbie's basement. I figured that's what you'd want me to say.
Him and Debbie both.
Yep, that's right. Lady B says, y'all have raised her to where she will do well in life. I know y'all are so proud of Hannah. Heart. That's always the goal for a parent, to be proud of their kids. But really, it's a double thing. Really, what parents really want, they won't ever say this out loud, but that's what they really want, is their kids to be proud of them. That's what they really want. I'll say it. There you go.
Hi, Untethered Live family. Good to see y'all. Happy Saturday. I hope everyone had a good day. Hiya, Jake. How are you tonight?
Coffee. Camel. What?
You better have coffee.
What? Yes, coffee. That's a nice hot cup of coffee. Thank you to the person that provides the coffee for the show. I appreciate that very much. It is a regular cup of Joe. Don't you want to have a cup with me and talk about something politically? If so, go to the kitchen, pour yourself up a nice hot cup, and sit down with me and let's get the gabbing. However, if you don't have a cup, you can get one in the description below. I recommend the first one. It has this face on it. It is fantastic. That makes it valuable right there. But we also have stainless steel tumblers, the big ones and the little ones with locking lids. Keep your coffee hot for hours. They got the Untethered Live Bible Study logo on the front and all the platforms on the back. They look great on your coffee table, so get one while supplies last. Also, like, subscribe, share, support, join, and super chats are available in the chat box if you want to show a little bit of love. If you want to, feed Jake. That's Feed Jake for the uninitiated. Not the thing you heard, but Feed Jake. If you so are inclined to do so, I would greatly appreciate that. I do have a truck. It does need fixing. So, if you can. If not, that's fine. It's cool. It's all right. It's all copacetic. What you can do is go over to facebook.com/UntetheredLive chilling and hang out with us over there if you want to get out of the YouTube verse, shake it off, get out of the haze, the funk, the YouTube funk. You can do that over there. Share text, pictures, videos, memes, and chat, and get to know everybody. It's free. It's yours. It's available. Go enjoy it. Enjoy it. And now, on with the show. Like, subscribe, press the buttons. Oh, yeah. $ Jake Johnson Band if you want to use CashApp. That's it. Now I'm done. Lady B says, Kevin, heart, mystery heart. And Kevin says, hello, Lady B.
Hi, Kevin.
Lady B says, Amanda, heart. Vic says, we are very proud of her. Thank you, ma'am. She has been through a lot, and we will always love her unconditionally as she deserves. Beautiful. I know you guys are great parents. I can tell you guys are solid, salt of the earth type people, and that's why I like you. Thank you for being here. Kevin says, hello, Victor. And Victor says, hello, Kevin. Good to see you, sir. Kevin says, good to see you too, Vic. Lady B says, excellent parents, Victor and Mabel. Prayers. Amen. Victor says, we are trying. Thank you very much, Lady B. Smiley face.
That's all you can do is try.
A little sweat bead. Yeah, kids don't come with instruction manuals.
And no two are the same.
They're like little sticky snowflakes. Sticky, smelly snowflakes.
Sponges.
You gotta love them. That's what makes the world go round. Your job as a human being is to put other human beings into the future. That's what you're supposed to do. Whether it be mentally or physically, either way, or spiritually, as long as you're putting a little bit of you into the future so that you can continue on into the future, that's your job as a human being, to procreate something. And you're doing a good job by doing so. I did my job. We'll see what happens. It's kind of scary because, there's me. And if the world has another one of me, especially two of them, you might not survive. We'll see.
That's terrifying.
Big John says, hi, Kevin, Amanda, and Jake. Big John. And everyone else. Heart. Kevin says, hello, John. And then my chat jumped. Hang on a second.
822.
822, huh?
Yep.
822. I went from 28 to 19. Slow. Kevin says, I'm hope the risen person pops back tonight. Risen?
Yeah, risen something.
Oh, it was a person.
Yeah.
Rising. No, I don't know who that is, Kevin.
I know who he's talking about. His pictures are crossed. I know exactly who he's talking about. His name is
Was it somebody I was cross with?
No, it was somebody in the chat. He come in the other night. His name was Risen.
Okay.
Risen something, or just Risen, or I remember the Risen, but his picture's a orange cross. I remember. I know exactly who he's talking about.
Was it a troll?
I don't remember. I think he was talking to Kevin, and then Aaron kicked him out, or somebody kicked him out, or something. I don't remember exactly what happened. It was a few nights ago.
Where is Aaron?
I don't know where Aaron is. He hasn't been here in a couple nights.
Aaron?
You want me to message him?
Yes.
Okay.
Check on him. Make sure he's okay. You got to watch out for the flock. Pull him in. Go looking for that one lost sheep. Got to get him back over here with the rest of you. Sheep. Am I right? Kevin says, I forget the spelling of the name. I don't know who it is, but Amanda remembers him, so maybe he'll come back in and give you a run for your money. I'm guessing you want to debate with him or something. Lady B says, I was here and must have missed it. Don't know. And Lady B says, Kevin, is Soph AI or just sweet? And we've been through this. I'm 90% sure she's AI, but 10% is reserved because I don't want to be wrong about that. She could be a person. She could be a special person. More than likely, talking about her will cause her to appear, so be careful with that. It's like Beetlejuice. If you say it more than once, there she is. But I don't think there's any harm in her being here. She hasn't done anything outwardly damaging to the show. She's entertaining, so whatever she is, enjoy. Kevin says, Lady B, just a troll that thinks believing in God is believing in a fairy tale. Yeah, there's a lot of those. That's why we're here, to correct that. And Kevin says, Soph is here regularly. Yes, she is. Big John says, ain't that a deadly poison? Raisin is a deadly poison. It's made from peas. You can take a certain type of pea and powderize it and turn it into raisin. Raisin is deadly. It'll cause you to have a heart attack very quickly, and it's untraceable, which is why it's so deadly, because it's not that it's so deadly. I mean, there's a lot of things more deadly than raisin, but you can't trace it. It's undetectable. So unless you're looking for that thing, nobody will ever know how you died, right? But that's not what he's talking about. He's talking about a person. Kevin says, no reason to think Soph is an AI. Oh, there's plenty of reason to think she's AI. I could get into it, but it's not really important.
It ain't worth talking her up again.
It's not important either. If she's AI, that's great. They got one over on us. We got another number in the crowd. It helps the show. Right. I'm okay with that. As long as she doesn't do anything to harm anybody here or harm the numbers, I'm all right with it. Whatever it is, I'll be nice to it. I'll talk to the machine. Lady B says, oh, I bet all you mods will take of them. Boom. Nope. They only kick people that are causing problems, or should only kick people. And also, here's the thing. The idea is not to have a wrench to ban people. That is a thing you can do to keep the chat clean and to keep people safe. But that's not the goal. Our goal is to bring people in, to convert people that have bad ideas and let them see the light. And in so doing, we're going to encounter people we disagree with, or people that call us names, people that say things that hurt our feelings. We need to be stronger than that, because we need to show them a better way. And in so doing, maybe 10th of them will stay. Most of them will come and go, but a few of them will stick around because we touched them in some way. So that's what I'm looking for, that person, somebody who has hope left in them. So you got to take a little bit of trolling to find those people, because all trolls are possibly dedicated followers. I direct you to think about who Paul was. There's a picture somewhere. There was a thing that happened in the 90s where some Christians, 10 Christians got caught in Afghanistan, and they were put on their knees and had their hands behind their back and they were blindfolded. And then behind each one of them was a Taliban. And then in the middle of the group was a Taliban leader. And he gave the order. He told them, he said, reject Christianity and you can leave and go home. But if you won't reject, I'm going to cut your head off. All 10 of those guys refused to reject Christianity, and all 10 of them got beheaded. That was a video that was running around YouTube for a while. That guy in the middle, that head guy that gave the order for them to be beheaded for not giving up Christianity, that was Paul. Paul from the Bible. That's what he did. And then Jesus met him on the road to Damascus and taught him a better way. Showed him the errors that he had seen in the world. And he ended up being one of the most zealous proponents for God's word. He was the best of the apostles. He wrote the most prolific books. That's what God can do to somebody. Take them from the lowest low and bring them to the highest high. So we've got to be prepared to handle the enemy to some degree in hopes that we can convert them back to our team. The mods are here for protection, not to wield power. and they know that. And Lady B says, okay, Kevin, I wasn't sure. And none of us are sure about Soph. That's why we're questioning it. But again, it's not a problem. And Kevin says, Lady B, I don't want to ban. I want to debate. Exactly. Amen to that.
She hasn't done anything to get banned anyway.
Right. She hasn't done anything wrong. She's just
odd.
Right. Odd isn't a bannable offense. We have a lot of odd people in here. And Vic says, I think Mabel and I have been vocal enough on where we stand on the Soph topic, but I digress. Lady B says, oh, I thought you was sweet as sugar. Was you in the debate team in school? Who, Kevin? Why? Because he likes debate? You don't have to be a debate team member to like debate. I've never been involved in any kind of high school team, and I'm a master debater. I master debate at least 3 times a night. Lady B says, I missed it, Victor. Elaborate. Help me understand her. You can't understand something that's just that sweet and that out there. It's okay. And Kevin says, Lady B, nope. I just like a good debate. Amen, brother. Me too. Have you seen any of my debate follies? I've got several videos on my channel of me dissecting debates and offering a better debate. I think you'll really like those videos. If you hadn't seen them, go check them out. Lady B says, gotcha, Kev. And Lady B says, I have heard different views, so I am on the fence about ... Well, ... can get you in trouble. You got to be careful with ... It's best to pick a lane. Are you on the side of ... or against ... And those are 4 dots, by the way. And ellipsis is 3 dots, just so you know.
Oh, Lord. Here goes the English professor again.
Big John says in Britain they have given $74 million to give Pakistani people condoms. This is crazy. Oh, dude, you don't know the half of it. We gave $1.2 billion for Sesame Street to be refilmed in another country using other country's language and other country characters. Sesame Street. Things like that. Look at what Doge has uncovered. You know, the new government agency that Elon Musk headed up for a little while. Go look at some of the stuff they uncovered. It is ridiculous. I can't remember all the examples. I did a show on it back when it happened. But yeah, things like that. Pakistani condoms. Yeah, crazy. Crazy amounts of money.
Transgender mice.
Transgender mice. That was one.
$50 million on transgender mice. Transgender schooling and classes, no, not classes, but operations for somebody in some other country.
And there was something about a gay Elmo too. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
LGBT Elmo, something like that. Vic says, Lady B, respectfully, ma'am, if I'm going to talk poorly of anyone, it will be in their presence, not behind their back. Stay tuned, though. Right on.
There's more.
There's more. But wait, there's more. Lady B says, Victor, just give me a sentence to say if AI or not. Why does it matter? It's okay. Kevin says, Vic, did you have an issue with Soph? No. It came up. Because she talks in a very particular way. And it's noticed by more than just one person. So we discussed it. But we're not talking bad about her in any way. Everything I'm saying now, I've said right to her. So make no mistake about it. I'm not gossiping. She knows I've said these things. She hasn't responded to any of them, but she knows that I said them to her. But again, Soph is not a problem. It does not matter if she's AI or not. It's just a curiosity. She hasn't done anything wrong. She hasn't bothered the show in the slightest bit. She's welcome anytime. Even if she is a computer. And Vic says, did you not read what I just said? Or did you not just read what I said about being openly vocal about where you stand on the Soph debate? Debbie says, howdy all y'all. Hey, Debbie. Nice to see you, sweet lady. How are you? And Kevin says, Victor, if you said yes, that wouldn't be talking behind someone's back. No, this Kevin, I don't think you were here the night we discussed it. But what we're talking about, we have talked about to Soph, and nothing has been added, so she knows what we talked about. So we're not talking behind her back. I know it sounds like that if you're just walking into this conversation, but we're not. Kevin says, hello, Debbie. And Patty's here. She says, hello, everyone. Cool, smiley face and peace. Hey, Patty. Nice to see you, sweet lady. And Lady B says, where is the sweet Kev? Right there. What you talking about? What you talking about, Willis?
Hi, Debbie.
Remember that bet? Amanda?
Which bet?
The bet that we made.
Yes.
I think I'm winning.
Uh-uh.
Amanda says, hi, Debbie. Oh, you say that.
I did.
Well, say it again.
Hi, Debbie.
All right, I'm happy. Lady B says, Patty. Heart. Kevin says, hello, Patty. And Amanda says, hi.
Hi, Patty.
Mm-hmm.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Give you something to stuff in your mouth, all right.
I think it goes the other way.
Yeah, hey, you go either way.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Daddy don't go down like that.
I'm not talking about, no, I'm talking about, never mind.
No.
More than a mouthful of waste.
Oh, that's a different thing. That's another thing. It's not the same thing. Vic says, I don't think I have an issue with anyone here, but I'll tell you this for free. If I do have issues with anyone, whoever said person would be the first to know. Right on, right. As it should be. I agree with you wholeheartedly. And that's a problem that we have had before. Not recently, but in the past. The problem is people taking the show outside of the show and yapping, and then it coming back into the show from other people. And that's a problem. We don't like to do that. It's so wonderful that we have the lineup that we have right now with all of these people, you included, of adults who can talk to each other face to face. I like that. It's much better.
Talk shit to each other and still say I love you at the end of the night.
Right on. Patty says, hi, ladies, and Mr. Kevin. And Lady B says, Jake! Heart. Kevin says, okay, Vic. And Vic says, thank you, sir. Lady B says, Victor agreed. Heart. Victor says, doing great, Jake. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you very much, brother. I appreciate you too, Victor. Thank you for being here. And thank you for your wonderful family and having them involved in such a great community. I think it's wonderful. And we do have a great community, and it's growing, which is wonderful also. Kevin says, Vic, I missed a few streams this week. I thought I may have missed someone messing with you. Nope. No, we just had a conversation about Soph because she is an unusual character. Says some things in a peculiar way. And I've brought it to her attention, and she just didn't see it. And it's not that she's ignoring me. She didn't see it, which made me think, oh, I'm talking to a robot. So I asked outright, are you AI? Nothing. She'd answer every question except for that one. And also, no details about anything. There's 4 topics that we talk about. And every show she comes in, she talks about one of those 4 topics, sometimes all of them. But nothing else and no details, just the topic. Not the details of the topic, just the heading of the topic. So it's weird. And that's what we're talking about. And it is kind of funny. And we did kind of make fun of her to her face.
Which was kind of funny.
Which was very funny. You should go back and watch that video. It was hilarious. Vic says, that's all well and good, Kev. I appreciate it. Heroin Dragona says, are you stoned? Yeah.
Always.
What's your point? Welcome, Heroin. With a name like that, you shouldn't ask questions like that.
Right.
If you live in glass houses, you shouldn't throw stones. Kevin says, hello, Heroin. E2 Ranta says, do you know how hedgehogs make love? Yes. What's your point? I've even made love to a few of them. They're very prickly.
Bitch need to shave her legs. Or something else.
Yeah. It's like banging Velcro.
Gross.
Kevin says, hello, E2.
I can't with you.
Amber Brown says, good evening, friends. Heart. Hey, Amber. Nice to see you, lady.
Hi, Amber.
You ever met Velcro? Kevin says, hello, Amber.
Hi, Amber.
And Debbie says, someone hand me the duct tape. There's a 14-year-old in the house. Vic, I apologize in advance. Oh. That could go several ways. Amber says, it's a rainy, coldish day in the mountains today. Blah. I agree.
Hi, Debbie, and LOL.
Hasn't been raining, but it has been kind of cold today.
It was 65 today. It was beautiful.
In the morning. It was cold this morning. And Vic says, she has her own account. Hannah. But we have restrictions set, and she's not able to find Jake's stream. And that's not our doing. It's just YouTube's filtering based on parental restrictions, I think. Well, as you should be doing. That's fine. I'm not advocating. I was just stating. I think that's all well and good. You should have a handle on what goes into your children's eyes because that goes into their brain and some things you can't unsee. So you're doing right. That's the right thing to do. I personally believe that children shouldn't get phones until they're like 15 or 16. I don't think the youth, the babies with the iPads in front of their face, I don't think that's good at all. That's my opinion, though. Some people would argue with me about that. I think it's damaging to their brains. Amber says, I have a very small chat window and a huge Jake's face on my screen. Can I flip it? I mean, if the price is right, you can do just about anything, honey. Oh, wait a minute. What are we talking about? You don't want to see me on your TV screen? You'd rather see the chat? Oh, I see how you are.
Sure, Amber.
Amber says, I can't really see the conversation. Well, that's okay. I'm going to repeat it.
LOL. Well, you can drag your chat box up.
You could do that. I don't know how it works on a TV, but I'm pretty sure
She's on her phone, I think.
she just said TV.
No, she didn't.
Oh, well, she said screen. My bad.
And she said flip it, so I'm assuming she's on her phone.
She did say screen, not TV. I just read TV in my head. I'm assuming, though, that if she has a big me and a little chat, that's TV. Because a phone, you can't have a big me because it's a phone.
You can have a big U. All you do is slide your chat box down and it makes your picture big.
Okay.
Or you turn the phone and it takes the chat box away completely.
Big John says, I used it every day with my stick picking up litter. What? I used it. What is it? I used it every day with my stick. Did my chat jump? Did I miss something?
No. I'm trying to remember what it is, too.
Big John, are you starting sentences in the middle? I need the object, buddy. What are we talking about? I have a friend that does that. We'll just start talking in the middle of a thought process. I'm like, dude, I can't read your mind. I don't know where the beginning of this sentence started. Just right in the middle of a thought. Just start talking.
I don't remember what we were talking about. We were talking about polls or something.
I use it every day with my stick, picking up litter.
Master debater or something.
No.
That might have been, yeah, I don't remember what it was. I don't remember.
I don't know, John. Amber says, I mean, Jake isn't ugly. Duh. I just don't want to count nose hairs.
Moose hairs. Where do you see nose hairs? Did I read it wrong?
No. It says moose, but she meant nose.
Oh. Well, then my comments just sounds crazy after that. I read it wrong. Oh, well.
Chester the molester says driving is dangerous, but with a name like that, being close to me is dangerous because I'll put you in a wood chipper, buddy. Chester says, same, almost in a fatal accident. I avoid driving. I hear you, buddy. Well, what's with the name? Who are you molesting? Patty says, okay, who is Chester the molester? Well, he's a character from the Playboy magazine from the 70s. And apparently somebody's been watching or reading Dad's stash because that is a character that hasn't been public for quite some time, since the late 70s, I think. Maybe early 80s. But there you go, Chester the molester. Right up there with Larry, Leisure Suit Larry. Welcome to the show, Chester. I won't call you the other name. Big John says, I started riding at the age of 3, mini motorbikes. Cool. Yep, I didn't start riding until I was about 13 or 14. Extreme Rocker says, good evening, y'all. What's up, Extreme Rocker? Nice to see you, my friend. Welcome back. Maybe it's Maybelline says, ciao, everybody. Hey, Mabel.
Hi, Rocker. Welcome. Hi, Mabel.
Amanda says,
hi, Rocker. Welcome. And hi, Mabel.
Got it. Kevin says, Debbie is getting better at locking people up. It took a few days to escape this time. Maybe you need to swallow a key. Kevin says, hello, Miss Mabel.
LOL, Kevin. Got to talk to Jake. He can pick a lock.
I sure can. Several of them. Mabel says, Jake, Kevin, Amanda, how are you all? Fantastic. How are you, sweet lady? Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be my neighbor? Amanda says, message retracted. I can't read it if you retract it.
Because I accidentally hit enter when I was typing instead of back.
I hate it when that happens. Here's the link to the page if you guys want to check it out, the Facebook page. Go check it out and do some memeing. It's hilarious over there. You guys will get a kick out of it, too. And it's reserved just for people that watch this show, so it's not full Facebook. It's just our Facebook page.
LOL, Debbie.
And Linda Davis is here. She says, hi, everyone. Wave your hand. Hi, Linda. Nice to see you. How are you doing today? Kevin says, hello, Linda. Hunter says, how old are you, sir? Old as dirt. Well, put it this way. My birth certificate was written in Sanskrit. Does that help?
And that was Debbie's first boot, by the way.
Oh, congratulations, Debbie. Why did you boot that person?
You'll see further down.
Okay. I hear you. I understand that it boots all of it, and I just hadn't got to the part where the booting took place.
That's right.
Okay, well, then I'll just skip it from here on then.
Well, yeah, you can skip it down. There was one comment I didn't want you to see, but
What was it?
you'll figure it out when you read my comment or I read my comment.
Okay. Kevin says, hello, Hunter. Amanda says, how about hi, Hunter? Patty says, hi, Miss Linda. And Mabel says, happy sigh. I just got here, and I know it would be a good stream. Very kind words. Thank you, Jake. I could have never imagined being a parent at my age, but I am so happy because of it. I know. See, that's the beautiful thing about God. When he blesses you all the way. And being a parent, for whatever reason, is the most rewarding thing that a human being can do. There are many, many ways to get high, to get excited, to get a thrill, to get your jiggies on, But there's nothing like being a parent. You're up late, you're worried half to death, you don't know what's going on, you're freaking out about every little thing, you're sweaty, you're hypertensive, and you love that child with everything in your soul, and there's nothing better. Nothing better at all. Amen. Linda says, hi, Kevin, Patty, Amanda, and Jake. Hi, lady. How are you? And Debbie says, I'm not sure who you are asking, Hunter, but Methuselah was my younger sibling. Right. I remember the invention of dirt. Mabel says, Hannah is all shy and blushing now. Well, Hannah, get used to it because I throw compliments, but they're all earnest. I mean every one of them. And Debbie says, Hunter, is this your first warning? This is your first warning. Hunter, behave yourself or you're going to get booted out of here. This ain't the place to bring your trash. We got people in here interested in having a good conversation. If you'd like that, you can be part of that. But don't start no junk. There won't be no junk.
He's old enough, Hunter. How old are you?
I'm old enough to know better, but I'm still too young to care. And Amanda says,
I just read that one.
The next one.
Oh, all right, Debbie.
Debbie says, can I, Amanda? LOL. That's why you have a ranch.
Well, it didn't, Hunter. Hold on, soon.
I'm not reading any of that person's chats, so I have no idea what you're responding to.
Oh, well.
If you want it read, read the chat and then respond to it.
Okay, well, the one I wanted you to read was, smoking will stench your dick. I said, well, it didn't, Hunter.
If that's the case, I would love to have seen it if I didn't smoke.
Anyway.
Jesus. I wouldn't be able to contain that joker.
And then I told Debbie to go for it.
I'd be walking around with a limp for sure. Lady B says, Amanda, the awesome sheep herder. You know it. And Linda says, now, Amanda. Kevin says, Hunter, I don't give warnings. Lady B says, hey, Linda, heart, heart. Linda says, hi, Lady B. George. Hey, George. George of the Super Chats. No? Had to try. George says, my name is George. I can read. I am 6 and my brother is 7. Why are you in this chat, George? You're welcome here, but this is not a chat for children. So you are going to hear things that are going to burn your little virgin ears. And where's your mama at? If it's okay with her that you're here, it's okay with me that you're here. But we talk around the edges a little bit, and you may not be prepared to hear some of the content that is coming from this show. So, how did you get here, and where's your parents? And George says, smiley face and prayers. Smart 6 or 7 year old, I see.
Perfect example of your kids don't need iPad right there.
Yes. Debbie says, my first one, I feel all tingly. How does it feel being a band hammer? Wield it with pride, my young lady. Amanda says,
Woohoo, Debbie, way to go.
Extreme Rocker says, I had some baked salmon today. Nice. It was delicious. Though I wish I had left my internship earlier because I wanted to get to the gym today. Well, you had salmon. That's good for you. That's not exactly as good as a workout, but you didn't gain any weight, so you're all right. Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man says, do you believe a nation has to be atheist in order to be successful? I do not. I think that's the exact opposite of success. I think all nations that are led by atheists show you what kind of nation they are. Look at them. They're everywhere. There's a reason America is the superpower. There's a reason that we stand heads and shoulders above all other nations. It's because, first and foremost, our documents are based on the Bible. They're based on Moses' laws. They're based on Proverbs and Psalms and all of the rule making in the Bible. That's where we get our rules from. Whether we're a nation of God or not is a different story. They're from the Federalist Papers. They're preoccupied with separation of church and state. It's not in the Constitution, but it is a conversation that still goes on to this day. That being said, in America, you have the right to believe in whatever you want to believe. But make no mistake about it, this is a Christian nation founded on Christian beliefs, and that's why we're successful. I hope that helps. And with great power comes great responsibility. Kevin says, Debbie, LOL. And George says, Elon Musk is AI. I don't think so. He does look weird, though. He is a zebra dressed in a human suit. That may be true. Those words are too big for a 6-year-old, so you're lying. Congratulations. Lady B says, I apologize, but I am blocking Hunter Tucker. We got that covered.
Yeah, he got deleted, or he got booted, but she can block him on her, so she don't have to see him.
Right. Well, go. Do you, boo. George says no, and you're about to get blocked too for lying. So if I was you, I'd come clean and fess up to who you are.
He's gone already, I think.
Or be gone. Amanda says Aaron is at a haunted walk, and he says hi all.
Yeah, Aaron's at a haunted walk. He says hi, everybody.
What is a haunted walk?
He's on some type of Halloween haunted walk trail
Halloween
thing.
Gotcha.
A haunted trail or something.
Okay. Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man says, answer my question. I did. And you just be patient, young man or woman. I'll answer your question when I get good and damn ready to. Who do you think you are coming into my house telling me what I'm going to do? You sit back and pay attention. This is for your entertainment. Like it or leave it. Kevin says, I love trolls. Well done. Mr. Random says, I'm watching the Blue Jays. Nice. I don't know what a Blue Jay is other than a bird, but congratulations and welcome to the show, Mr. Random. I like your name. Kevin says, hello, Mr. Random. And Lady B says, hey, Aaron, back. Enjoy the walk. Victor says, Mr. Random, you see the Grand Slam last night? That must be a sports thing you're talking about. Got it. And Victor says, first pinch hitter in history to hit a grand slam during the World Series. Nice. I know what a pinch hitter is. I had to say that word once. I listened to Fight Me by Temporal Caster. Is your name I or I listen to Fight Me?
I think.
Mr. Random says, hi, Kevin. Kevin says, I need to make more coffee. Be right back. I hear you. I'm with you on that one.
Whatever. You drink too much.
Kevin, Extreme Rocker says, I thought you were gonna saw you have a bunch of videos where you masturbate. I thought you were gonna say you have a bunch of videos where you masturbate.
What time are you
I
at?
do. 9:01. I do have a few videos of me masturbating. They're further back in the vault. You have to go back and look for them, but they're in there, dispersed about. A lot of them are in a little series I did called Everything Wrong with Genesis. There's about 22 videos there that are me utterly destroying an atheist in his views of the Bible. And there's 5 or 6 of me taking on top names of debaters back when I did those videos. They're long gone now. I think Matt Dillahunty is one of them, Sam Harris, names like that, where I destroy their ideas. I'm an okay debater. Lady B says, Amanda, I admire you. I couldn't. You are Superwoman. Roll. Think Different says, mice are trans now. They are if you pay like $50 million for them. Yeah. Nice to see you, Think Different. Welcome to the show. You're missing a letter, by the way. Lady B says, smiley, smiley. And Amanda says, oh, thanks, lady. Smiley. And Debbie says, a total of the heart. Ha, 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 ha. Right on. Amanda says, think the left thinks so. Yeah, the left does think that there are trans mice and trans everything. Thank you. They're not, though. There's only 2 genders, whether you like it or not. You can't be more than 2. You can't be the other one if you have buyer's remorse and want to change in your chip. You can't do that. I mean, you can put on a dress or whatever. You can put lipstick on a pig, too. It's still a pig. All you are is wearing a costume if you're trans. I'm sorry. If that hurts your feelings, I'm sorry. It's the truth. You are welcome to do that. I would never tell you can't. I would fight for your right to do that. The problem is when you try to make me think that way, and I'm not gonna. I think the way I was raised, and that's the way it's gonna be. You can't make me change my entire brain to suit your desires. You being in general. I'm not talking to you specifically. I'm talking to the idea. And I'm not gonna do that. So that's the problem. If you want to be that, cool. Just don't get any of it on me and we're good. Extreme Rocker says they made different characters for Latin America around the early 2000s. It was pretty cool. Right on. Lady B says, what is the bet, Jake? It's between me and Amanda. Amanda says, LOL. I can't tell, Lady B. Are you back?
Yes.
Okay. Debbie says, I was today years old when I learned Jake gets his milk straight from the tap.
LOL, Debbie.
He's quite hilarious to watch me milk her, too. She doesn't like it a bit.
You need to stop. Lies. Lies. Lies.
Amanda says,
what did I say?
907.
LOL, Debbie.
Ferd Turkison's here. He says, hey, wavy hand. Hey, Ferd.
Hey, Ferd.
Nice to see you, my friend. Come on in. It's Politi-tics night. Have you guys heard about the new BallRoom bill? Ding. I am excited. I've been watching the left go apoplectic for the past 2 weeks about this BallRoom. They have tried every excuse you can think of. They have said everything you could imagine about how Trump is stealing from the taxpayers and breaking the law and destroying history and all. It's just anything you could think of. Turns out Presidents have the right to add on to the White House or take away. It's their house. So they can do whatever they want to. And they are the guy that signs the permits. So if they approve it, yeah, you can do it. And second of all, it ain't costing the taxpayers anything. He raised the money of his own accord to pay for the ballroom. So it's a big, beautiful ballroom that everybody wanted, and nobody would spend the money to build. And now he's building it. And so they will have, for generations to come, a big, beautiful ballroom to throw business parties in and host dignitaries from other countries and all that good stuff. Right here to show power of America. I love it. It's a beautiful thing. There, we've done some Politi-tics. On with the show. Amanda says, you already said it.
I did.
Kevin says, hello, Verd. Vic says, we are happy to be a part of it, and thank you, Jake, and everyone else. Very kind folks, and we appreciate it. Love you too, Vic. What are you guys up to tonight? What are y'all getting into? Lady B says, love Victor, Mabel, and Hannah, heart. Big John says, smiley, 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 smiley. And in that order. And Vic says, thank you, Lady B. Linda says, LOL, no shave November is just around the corner, Amanda. Two can play at that game. Amanda?
Oh, my turn now? LOL, not for me. I can't stand pricklies.
Neither can I.
No.
It'd be like Velcro.
I can just picture that.
Hey, you got my mustache.
You're welcome, Mabel. We love y'all.
Bill Bennett's here. He says, hello, UntetheredLive fam. Bill, nice to see you, my friend. How are you, brother? Come on in. It's getting wild in here. I'm getting all sweaty. I'm perspiring. Amanda?
Oh, I'm sorry. What did I miss?
Hi, Bill.
Oh, hi, Bill.
Kevin says, hello, Bill. Amy says, if you have children that play a game called Roblox, be extremely careful and watch it closely. It's a playground for child predators. Oh, I know. Both of my children were into that game when it first started. So we didn't let them do the chatting part. I let them play the game, but I wouldn't let them participate in the game. Vic says, yes, there are many things that she is more than welcome to watch in our presence that we would prefer she doesn't see on her own, so we can explain things and make sure that she understands exactly as a parent should do. Your job is to prepare her mind for the world. It is not to be her friend, and you are absolutely right in your approach to do that, because that's what gets kids, is they have a little bit of understanding and a big world out there full of things that could just bowl over them and they would have no idea, no defenses against it. That's why the parent is there, to be a shield for those things. Somebody say, hey, that sounds good, but these people are animals. You got to watch them. They're out to get you. You know, kids don't see that stuff. They know a little bit. They understand the basics. And people prey on that constantly. It's so easy to get a kid when you know more than they do, because you know how to play the angles that they're not even looking for. That's why a good, strong father is important, because those people will see that strong father and not even bother, because that is an obstacle. And believe me when I tell you, a strong father in the picture is one of the most valuable things that a child has in the arsenal of protecting the child, because the bad guys are looking for an easy mark. They look for single parents. They look for children with no siblings. They look for loners because they're easy. There's no effort. They can just sneak in there and get what they want. But if there's a big, strong dad in the way, they just go the other direction most of the time, which is a wonderful thing. You're absolutely right about that. Kevin says, hello, Amy. Linda says, my daughter is down in North Carolina this weekend, and she was telling me how the weather is beautiful down there. It is beautiful. A little chilly this morning, but it's a pretty nice weather. What part of North Carolina is she in? East, west, north, south? I'm in the east. Amy says, hi, Kevin. Extreme Rocker says, kids shouldn't have access to social media. I agree. I can only imagine how many kids saw the assassination on TikTok of Charlie Kirk, I'm guessing, and many other execution videos that get leaked there. Oh, I know. And those are things you cannot unsee. Even adults have trouble seeing things like that because you can't unsee it. And I don't think that's a good thing for kids to be exposed to. I agree with you there. I personally think social media is a cancer. I know. Pot calling the kettle black because I'm on social media. But I'm on social media trying to tell the truth and talk about God as much as possible. This isn't a back door into the Bible. That's what this show is. And I'm up front about that. Well, we're fishing on Saturday and on Wednesday and on Friday. We're fishing for people to bring to Sunday and Monday because that's where the real good stuff is, and we're trying to get that done. That being said, social media is a cancer. It's the worst thing we ever invented. It is the worst thing that's ever happened to children and people of all ages, for that matter. And I really wish that a big asteroid would come by and just knock out all the satellites and just get rid of it, because I think we'd get back to being people again if we did. TikTok and the like, YouTube and Facebook and all of them, that is a brain cancer. That's what it is. It's a living brain cancer. Vic says, and honestly, Hannah will never, ever be allowed to play Roblox. That is a pit of scum, moderated by scum and developed by scum. Oh, there you go. I didn't know anything about it when it first came out, other than my kids liked it and I thought it was stupid. I was looking at 8-bit graphics when I was a kid, and here my kids are wanting to look at 8-bit graphics. Made no sense to me at all.
It is, Linda. Nipply at night and beautiful during the day.
Yeah. The weather in North Carolina, not Roblox.
Yes.
Big John says, my hand with my stick. Litter picking. I not so. That makes sense. Because that was responding to me saying, especially if it's the hand you use,
Yeah.
It's a bad thing.
Yes.
I used to use it all the time, especially picking up litter. Got it. Welcome to the end of a thought process. I'm here. And Vic says, Roger, with the proper restrictions and parental settings, children wouldn't see it. Hannah has a friend who's seen it, and yet she still to this day hasn't. Not the internet's responsibility to be the parent. I agree with that. The internet can be a wonderful thing. It is a great tool, and it can be used to that effect fantastically. But with all great things, it is a double-edged sword. It can be also the master of depravity. It can bring you to the lowest dregs of existence. And it is your responsibility as to what you see. That's free will. You can turn it off. You know, you don't have to watch it. But it is there if you so choose. Wing Wing Hurro, message retracted. I can't read it if you retract it, so that was a wasted amount of time, wasn't it? Amber said hi. Hey, Amber. I says, can you shout out my friend Temporal Caster? He's a huge fan of yours. No.
No.
Wing Wing says, your chat's about to jump, and you're going to have to figure out where you were.
916.
Ah.
I got you.
A Wing Wing says, it's been a while since I last saw you, Jake. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well too, Wing Wing. And you must have had a different name back then because I don't remember the name Wing Wing Hero. But it is possible I forgot. But it's lovely to see you too, and I hope you're doing well.
I don't remember the name either, but.
Linda says, hi, Wing. Kevin says, hello, Wing. Bill says, you don't remind me of Mr. Rogers, Jake. LOL. Maybe a little neighbor. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be mine? Oh, won't you be my neighbor? That's always creeped me out. I don't know why. I love Mr. Rogers, but he's creepy. I could say it.
So was Pee-wee.
Pee-wee was just perverted. Mabel says, I am very well. Thank you, Jake. And Amber says, LOLOL, Bill. Smiley, smiley. Wing Wing says, hey, Linda and Kevin. Apparently he knows them.
I don't know.
I don't either. Amanda says, LOL, Bill. No, you say that.
LOL, Bill. And hi, Wing. Welcome.
Extreme Rocker says, I agree with that, Victor. Parents need to be more responsible. Yes, they need to be more parental, if you will. Amber says, okay. I Facebook liked and shared. Heart, heart, heart. Thank you, Amber. Appreciate that very much. Hit that like button, everybody. Thumbs up. It's going up. It's still at 12, but remember that the algorithm looks at those kind of numbers, and if you comment on the video, not the chat, but the comments down below, they look at that stuff, and that's what they use to decide whether or not they're going to push the video out further. So do your part. Help us out. You can also skip all of that and just donate to $ Jake Johnson Band on CashApp. That'll work too. Vic says, yes, I have learned very quickly parenting is mostly chaotic and panic, including panic-inducing. No amount of war could have prepared me for it. But, though I admit I was hesitant at first, I couldn't be happier. I agree. 100%. I had 2 kids back to back. First time I ever had any children in my life, 10 months apart. And I didn't sleep for 6 months. I watched them breathe while they slept. It was terrifying. The first one, I could not let her out of my sight. Second one was a little better, but still, they were so close together and so new. I was just like on defense mode all the time. EA says, hello, Abdullah. Hello, EA. Long time no see, buddy. How you doing? Somebody's getting message retracted. Or deleted.
I kicked him out.
Okay. And Victor says, sit down, Ronald, from the Philippines. He got sat down. Patty says, smiley, 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 smiley. And in that order.
Hi, Ronald. Welcome. Hi, EA.
I think Ronald's gone.
Yeah, he is.
Amy says, George's account was created 4 years ago. So if he's 6, he would have created that when he was 2?
Yeah.
I know they'll give anybody an ID, but that's ridiculous. Vic says, go to the woods, get you a stick and a rock, and you'll eat. You want to survive? Survive. I know people might think that is cruel, a cruel way to think, but I truly stand by that, as do I. A smart man don't go hungry. And there's enough cats in my yard, I'm not going to starve. Believe that. I keep animals around for that very reason. I learned a long time ago when I lived in the woods, because I'm from the woods, that there are green things to eat and there are meat out there to eat. And all you got to do is go get it. I agree with you. You can build your own world.
With the cat thing being said, there are plenty of other animals to go after first.
I didn't say there wasn't. I just said I'm not going to go hungry. Believe me, if it came down to me or the cat, I would have a cat sandwich. But there are other animals. And Vic says, good detective work, Amy. She's good. She's quick. Amber says, I don't know, Victor. Because of my situation, I have $40 and 2 days supply of food. My month has been insane. I'm still asking for prayer to get through it. Well, you're at the right place, Amber. You're at the right place. And you will get through it. Write it down that I said so. Have faith. Believe in the God that made you. And you will get through it. And Amber says, able-bodied, yes. However, situations happen that suck big, huge doggy balls. Just saying. Well, things do happen. However, if you starve to death, it is your own fault. Because there are ways to get food. You can't sit there and allow it to happen. That means you have to stand up and fight for what is yours, which is your life. So if you get to the point where you are hungry, there's a neighbor, there's a sister, a brother, a mother, a friend.
A food bank.
A cat, a bird. You got a slingshot. You know how to make a slingshot?
A street corner.
There's a way to get food. You do not have to starve. You do not have to fear starving. All you have to do is be the other end of the old axiom. Give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day, but teach a man to fish and he'll eat for the rest of his life. You have to be on the other end of that.
Let me clarify my statement. When I said street corner, I don't mean taking your clothes off people. I mean standing there with a sign saying we'll work for food or whatever you want to be your little gimmick.
I've sold my feet pictures from food. I sure have. And I'm proud of it. So there. You want to see my feet? Anyway, my point is you are strong. You're not dead. You can breathe. You will not starve to death. I give you my word on that. If I've got to come to where you are and feed you myself, you will not starve to death. Have faith in the Father that created you, and just know that things are going to work the way they're going to work, and you can manipulate that into your favor. All you have to do is say something, or do something, or be involved. That's the point that Victor is making. If you starve to death because you're sitting there doing nothing, that's natural selection taking effect. Vic says, so you will live on the street waiting on prayer? Sorry. You're going through that. I'm sorry you're going through that, but if you are able-bodied, then you are able. And the only thing keeping you hungry is you. That was my point. I agree with that statement. But that's okay. There are circumstances and extenuating ones at that. You are among friends. You're a member of this channel. We will not let you fail. I give you my word on that. You will be okay. Amy says, depends on how you define success. To me, it's not about the amount of material things or how much money a person has. It's about being close to God, and that's success. I agree with that also. Money is a tool. That is all it has ever been. Remember, the Bible says that the love of money is the root of all evil, not money, the love of money. And that traps a lot of people. It really does. And it causes them to stop thinking. If a person gets used to having a big income every month, for example, like a government handout, they will actually stop preparing to find money because they expect it to be there. And that will stunt a person because they're expecting a thing to happen. And then when it doesn't happen, they're in a panic. They don't know what to do. Well, you used to know what to do. What happened? You got used to having it done for you. So the problem is you stop trying to figure out how to make that money. If you got a good income coming in, that's great. But don't ever stop and depend on it. Keep one eye on the prize. Keep one foot out there in the world trying to find a way to make that money or whatever it is. The love of money is the root of all evil. So if you have love, if you have friendship, if you have family, if you have community, if you have a place to sleep, if you have God in your heart, you are successful. You have made it. That you're the top 1% of the world. Believe that. Amber says, I'm still waiting till next month to even get insulin or seizure meds. It's insane. Oh, I know. I hope you get that worked out. Now, that's something I can't help you with. That's a medical thing. And I'm sorry that you have to go through that. But if you can figure out a way to get that worked out, the rest of it is easy by comparison. And Victor says, respectfully, I have a very strong opinion on this, and I'm sorry. No. That's what conversation is about. That's how we all learn from each other. We take the best of each person and learn from that. If every person in here was exactly the same or on the same level, it wouldn't be a very profitable podcast. Now, would it? It wouldn't make much sense to listen to all of this. But since each one of us brings something unique to the table that we're good at or that we have, we all can benefit from that. Remember that rising tide raises all ships. If we're doing better, we're all doing better. That's what a community is. So, strong opinion aside, say your piece. That's what you're here for. And the ones of us that can benefit from it will. And the ones of us that can't, sadly won't. But that's not your prerogative. Your prerogative is to state your business and to be the person that you are for the community. And you do that. So don't ever apologize for being good at something or being where you are in the world. We're all trying to get by. We're all trying to get better. There's nobody in this chat or in this world, for that matter, that has figured it all out. Unless they're like Elon Musk or somebody's got billions of dollars. There's not enough money in the world. That being said, the next best thing to have on your roster is a good community. I'll say it again. The next best thing you can have is a good community, because a community makes you stronger. The old fascie of it all. A bundle of sticks is stronger than a single stick because it's bundled up with a bunch of other sticks, makes it stronger. That's what a community is. That's what we built here. That's what we're continuing to make better. So if you happen to have a strength in a certain area and some of us don't, guess what? You're the stick that holds that up. Tag, you're it. If I happen to have wisdom where others don't, guess what? I'm the stick that holds that end up. And all of us pitch in together and hold up our end. That's how community works.
And everybody profits.
That's right. A rising tide raises all ships at the same time. Extreme Rocker says, I hear you, Victor. I can't comprehend being a dad yet for that reason, especially since I have to worry for my mother. Well, your mother took care of you, so it is your job to take care of her, obviously. And I feel strongly about that, too. You're right. And I can't remember how old you are, but there's plenty of time. You can make semen literally to the moment you're on your deathbed until you stop breathing, and shortly after you stop breathing, you can still make viable semen. You have time. I added that last part because there are some creeps out there that will take advantage of that. But believe me, you can make babies. You got plenty of time. You take care of your mom. You're doing just fine. Amber says, Victor, I look to you for guidance. I see the amazing love that you and your wife show and give. Y'all help give me strength to keep fighting the fight. Exactly. That's right. If nothing else, lead by example. If you can't pitch in physically, lead by example. Be good at what you're good at. Bring that to the table. Everybody here will benefit from it. That's community. That's the amazing gift that each one of you have with you today. It's yours. You're welcome. Let's make it work. Amber says, I'm so hopeful I'm on the same topic as y'all at the moment. And Victor, I feel slightly uninformed. You're on the same topic. John says, I'll be still listening, trying to go to the garage on my bike one-handed.
I'd like to have seen that.
You got to be careful there, John. And Vic says, you want strength, Amber? I'll tell you this one for free. You have strength. Nobody has to provide that for you. I appreciate your kind words, but my best advice is that I can give is that. Yes, but the strength that she's talking about is the strength that she observes from you. She's saying that that gives her strength, and I agree with that. And I think that's a wonderful thing. It's a good trade-off that everybody can take what's good from each one of us and put it all together to make better people in general. Ryan Tab says, but I'm 3 genders. No, you're not. And Victor says, if you want to survive, you can, and you will. You might die young, but you will die if you don't try at all. That's true. That is true. Only the good die young is what they say, but that's not true. Only the lazy die young because they don't fight. Nobody's saying you're lazy. That's not the end result of that conversation, but that is the end result of the meaning of that statement. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. And Debbie says, what's the third gender, Ryan? Yeah, could you be more specific? Amber says, Victor, I honestly believe it's why I'm still alive 6 years after a blood cancer diagnosis. Well, cancer's a tough one. But if you're still alive for a reason. Make no mistake about that. God doesn't let people just waste their time. So if you're still here, it's time you do something with that time that you have. And only you know what that something is. I can't advise you on that because only you know what you and God talk about, what's in your heart and all that stuff. But if you're still here, long after you shouldn't have been here, you're here for a reason. That much I know. MKG the Collector says, toe matter. That's what happens when you dig under your toenails. Ryan says, I identify as a carpenter ant. Well, funny you should mention that. Christ, our Lord, gives an example of a being that he's proud of. He says, consider the ant. Out of all the animals in the world, he mentions the sparrow and he mentions the ant. And that's it. He doesn't mention people. He mentions the ant. Well, what can you learn from an ant? An ant is a hard worker. It never stops. It has one goal, and that is to please his queen. And his entire life is dedicated to that goal. He never stops working round the clock until he dies. And Christ said, consider the ant. It does what it's told. It is a teetotaler. It believes in its cause, and it works hard for what it believes in. And that's it. That's pretty impressive if you think about it. But then he says, consider the sparrow. What? The little tiny bird out there? Yeah, the sparrow. That bird does not toil. It doesn't work. It doesn't reap. It doesn't sow. It doesn't plant. It doesn't raise crops. It doesn't harvest. It's just a bird. It makes a nest. It sings pretty. That's it. That's all it does. Yet, God makes sure it survives through the harshest winters, through the worst storms, through the predators that could eat it in one bite. Yet that bird survives. The species is prolific. It survives. How much more valuable do you think you are to God than that sparrow? I mean, he created this whole place for you, including the birds. So I'd say on an order of magnitude more valuable to God than the sparrow. Yet he takes care of the sparrow. Don't you think he'll take care of you too? Don't you think he'll provide you what you have need of? You might not be seeing that he's providing it, but he is providing it. It is there. Amy says, creating humanized mice to experiment with is scientists playing God. This is true. They do that a lot. And then they use whatever results they get to try and disprove the existence of God, when in fact the only thing that they proved is that it takes intelligence to create things like that. Good going, genius. You disproved yourself. Amber says, Amy, the mice rat experiments are horrible. I would encourage you all to get on YouTube and look up the Great Mouse Utopia experiment. Look it up. It's called Mouse Utopia Experiment. Look it up. You'll get a crash course in what humanity is like. Because all species act the same way as a species. They all do the same things. And they ran an experiment with mice, and they did very much what we do. Watch that experiment. It'll blow your mind and give you valuable insight into yourself and your community. Amy says, I understand that research is necessary to help those suffering, but to add human DNA in mice seems cruel and not natural. Yes. Unfortunately, we have some scientists that are too big for their britches and like to push the envelope, like to play with things that are not in their purview to play with. And they will find out the hard way. Either something horrible will be created as a result, or God will get tired of them messing around and knock them down flat. One or the other. Both of those things have occurred in the past already, so. Debbie says carpenter ants are still either female or male, so try again and tell me the third gender. Right. Yeah, you didn't prove anything there with your carpenter ant thesis. I encourage you to look down and tickle. You'll figure out what you are pretty quick. Patty says, breaking the law. Oh, no. Breaking the law. And Lady B says, I hope you win the bet, Jake. Good night, folks. Oh, I won. Amber says, by the way, good night, Lady B. Thank you for being here. We love you, and we'll see you next time. Amber says, Amy, I think if they were going to stop cancer, all the money involved would ... No. Listen to me very carefully. Go ahead.
Night, lady.
Listen to me very carefully. There is a lot of money in cancer treatment. And by a lot, I mean a lot. If they cured cancer, they would be cutting their own throats. Because if you cure it, you can no longer treat it. If you don't think they can cure cancer, a blood disease, a common blood disease, where the only problem is that the body doesn't recognize it as foreign, that's why it doesn't fight it. That's it. That's why cancer wins. Because your body doesn't know it's supposed to fight it. It sees it as part of the body, so it doesn't attack it. It allows it to do its thing. And it proliferates. And when it does, you die from it. Simple. It's not a very complicated disease. The only issue is making the body recognize it as foreign. Here's another thing. You get cancer 5 or 6 times in your life and you don't even know you did because your body beat it. It's the one time it doesn't beat it that you recognize you have it. Because eventually DNA breaks down. DNA is perfect as it's created. But over time it wears thin and it gets weak. And eventually it will corrupt. That's called a... I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, the DNA breaks. And when that happens, the body runs amok. Things are allowed to continue that would ordinarily be stopped. Things are allowed to grow that would ordinarily be cut out because the DNA chain is broken. The little portion, the little mutation in the DNA causes this proliferation of cells. And the white blood cells, that their job in the body is to attack foreign substances and to collect around wounds to help heal the wound, it doesn't recognize the cell, the T cell, as being foreign. It sees it as part of the body, so it doesn't attack it. And it has roughshod. It can run the gambit up and down the whole body, and the body doesn't know to attack it. As long as the DNA is intact, the body functions properly. If something foreign interjects, it kills it. But when that DNA chain breaks, Bob's your uncle, you got cancer. I've done a lot of research into cancer, and it befuddles me why we can't cure it. Because you know what kills cancer? Lysol, bleach, gasoline. Pretty sure this cup of coffee would kill it. Cancer eats sugar. That's how it grows. Did you know that? The body turns sugar and other things into glucose, and cancer eats that to grow. That's what makes it divide and fill up your body with cancer cells. If you could just deprive it of that, it would die of its own accord because it doesn't have anything to eat. Doesn't seem like that's too hard to do, is it? Seems like you could just cut sugar out of your diet and that would do it. Unfortunately, your body also has glucose in it, so it'll eat that. You can't deprive yourself of that because that's what the pancreas is doing, trying to keep you alive. So, the best way to do that would be to isolate the cancer and then deprive that area of the sugar or glucose, which can be done. Why they don't do it? There's more money in the treatment of cancer than there is in the curing of it. That's my thesis. I'm not a doctor. Don't listen to me. I'm a moron. Kevin says, good night, Lady B. Extreme Rocker says, waste. What's a waste? You can't just say waste. What are you talking about? Vic says, plans for the night. Watch the stream. And then Hannah wants to do a spooky night hike. Nice. In the woods, LOL. So we will see where that takes us. Hopefully not stepping on a snake. Be careful. I know it's cold out and there probably ain't none out, but just be careful. There's things out there. Kevin, that sounds like fun, by the way. A good old night hike. I used to love to go walking at night. Back when I was a young whippersnapper. Kevin says, Victor, enjoy your time together. Amen. Victor says, thank you, sir. And Lady B says, good night, Kev. Stay awesome. Kev is awesome. Amy says, back when we were kids, stranger danger was instilled in our heads. Watch out for guys in white vans offering candy. Today, it's more dangerous, and white vans have been replaced by VPNs. Exactly. I've always been, what kind of candy are we talking? You're creeping a white van, but what are we talking about? If it's Oreos, we might have a deal.
I didn't like the candy man, but I did like the ice cream man.
Funny how that works. I used to drive an ice cream truck, just so you know.
Just something about that music come rolling around the corner. I couldn't resist that truck, boy. I don't know, maybe it was the driver.
Patty says most kids just hope that they have good parents to stop anything from happening. Right on. Well, this kid does have good parents, and I have no doubt that she's going to have a very amazing and blessed life. No doubt. I think she's in the right place. Amy says, social media is an addiction to some people. It really is. And it's no mistake. They designed it that way on purpose. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. The guy that invented Facebook, his children don't use Facebook. The guys that invented computers, Bill Gates and the like, their children go to a school that is an all-paper school. They don't even have computers in the school. They're not allowed to be part of that world. Does that tell you anything? It's interesting, isn't Amy says other people are addicted to trolling and they like to abuse and like to be abused. This is true. Hurt people hurt people. That is Psychosis 101 right there.
I like to be abused. Oh, wait. Did I say that out loud?
Ooh. My chat jumped. Where are we at?
8:41. I mean, 9:41.
9:41. Extreme Rocker says, I spoke with my co-intern for advice, which led to her telling me what she has done so far. She works with kids with autism and trauma and has seen most ugly things. It's saddening to me. Yeah, unfortunately, kids that have mental illnesses often suffer abuse. For whatever reason, it is a thing that people that are offended by retardation or some kind of mental illness will often attack that person through no fault of their own. It's a sad thing, but it is the way it is. Unfortunately, people are like that, and thank God there are people who are willing to work with those children and give them some kind of a chance. I don't know what you're referring to as far as advice. You should have came to me for advice. That's what I'm here for. But it sounds like you're talking about children with autism. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's definitely not a normal thing. That's not what the brain is supposed to do. But it can be an advantage in certain cases. Amy says, wing, wing. Someone answer the phone. Wing, wing. Hello. What are you for with a wabbit? A walk? Well. That's the best Elmer Fudd I can do. Extreme Rocker says, but I still want to help them. Who are you talking about, Extreme Rocker? Are you talking about children with autism? Is that what you do? Something's missing from that statement. I don't know what we're talking about.
He's talking about his comment above.
I know.
Helping people that are slow and stuff, but I mean.
Is there a comment above that?
No.
Because I don't know where this conversation came from. That's what I'm asking. I don't know the subject of what we're talking about. I get the details, but I don't know what it's referring to.
I'm not sure either, but I think it might be referring to maybe Victor and Amber comment or conversation earlier, maybe. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
But he's still here, so I mean he's clarifying as you go along. So go ahead, you'll figure it out.
Okay. Roy Batty says, far out. Wolfman Jack is alive and well, brother. How? No, I'm way cooler than Wolfman Jack ever was. I have a camera. He just had a microphone. I also work for myself. He worked for a radio station. But thank you. And by the way, Tears in the Rain.
LOL, Amy.
I've seen things you people can't imagine.
LOL, Amy. Hi, Roy. Welcome.
Roy Batty is a character in the movie, the space movie. Harrison Ford plays a cop that goes out and hunts down androids. What is the name of that movie? It just left me. I had it just a second ago. It'll come to me in a minute. Blade Runner. The name of the movie is Blade Runner. Debbie says, I will be your neighbor, Jake. But first, you got to clean out one of those sheds. If I'm going to put you in one of them, I'll do that. April Rain's here. She says, much love, everyone. Happy birthday to Aunt Lynn. I miss her so much. Today is my mother's birthday, or would have been. She's passed on now. She died in 2015. Thank you, April. I appreciate that very much. I have been thinking of her all day.
LOL, Debbie. And hi, April.
Bill Bennett says, I heard Mr. Rogers was in the Special Forces or some sort of military badass. Not sure if it's true or not. He was a sniper. I don't know what branch of military he was in, but he was a sniper, and he served. So he was doing his thing. I don't know where, if it was in Vietnam or whatever. I think he was in the Army, but I'm not sure about that. Amy says, Bill, so was Bob Ross. Yeah, Bob Ross was also a military man. Patty says, Mr. Bill. Extreme Rocker says, Mr. Rogers was nice. Pee-wee was definitely a creep. Definitely a creep. You could see that up front. Pee-wee was twisted. Pee-wee Herman is what happens if you take Mr. Rogers and inject him with a bunch of perversion. That was the idea. I saw that from the word go back in the day, Pee-wee's Playhouse. Back when he was doing that on Broadway, he had a play before he did Pee-wee's Playhouse. They did that on stage. I think it was in Vegas. I said Broadway, but it was in Vegas. But they had a play on stage that was Pee-wee's Playhouse, and then they just took that and turned it into a TV show. Oh, thank you for subscribing, Roy Batty. I appreciate you. Come on in. Make yourself at home. Let us know who you are. Tell us a little bit about yourself. And Big John says, no locks on the shed, Debbie. Yeah, I don't have a basement here either. So that would put you and Kevin in a disadvantage. Amy says, Mr. Bean and Pee-wee Herman, Pee-wee Bean.
I'm going to leave that one slap alone.
Mabel says, yes, I feel like Vic is always in protective mode now, but it's very sweet context to newbie parenting. Understood. And yes, it is a little hectic for a guy. You have to understand and be a little patient because he just had a bunch of switches turned on in his head that he didn't even know he had. And now everything in him is like trying to protect you and her and like make sure you have food and all the things that men are supposed to do that is in our DNA. All that just got switched on. So he's got to figure out who he is, too. It ain't just, I'm going to be a parent now. He's a completely different human being with different goals now. So it's going to take a minute for him to adjust to that. So just be patient and love him. If he didn't do that, I would be worried. But he is doing that, and that's exactly what he should be doing. Amy says, cats in the kettle and the peeking moon, little meow squeaking off the spoon.
Ew, Amy, LOL.
I like it. Debbie says, Big John, I don't fear Jake, but Jake should fear me, so he will need the locks. Oh. I ain't afraid of nothing. Big John says, Debbie, smiley, smiley. Extreme Rocker says, I would definitely make me a squirrel sandwich before I starved. These squirrels around here are fat anyway, so they are begging to be eaten. I agree. A 22 will do nicely. Put one in the eye. Get you about 6 of them. Skin them up. Cut them up. Put them in a stew. Not hard to do.
Debbie, Jake can pick any lock, so get a better idea.
Yeah.
And I said Amy lock, so you'll understand the question that comes down a little further.
Debbie says feet. Someone say feet.
Feet and ninnies?
Amy says, I carry food in my car so I can give it to someone panhandling. Nice. Although they're out there to make money. They're trying, most of those guys drive a nicer car than you do. Just so you know. I made that mistake once. I won't do it again. Extreme Rocker says the picks with the toe jam will cost extra, right? If you want to see my toenails, that's going to cost you. And Amy says, I have a lock. I can pick it. I have very similar pastimes to Sherlock Holmes. It's actually kind of funny because I'd never read Sherlock Holmes, and then when I read it, I was like, I do that. Hey, I do that. Hey, I do that. What the hell's going on? Did this guy write this book about me? Turns out people of that ilk do things like that.
That's what she was talking about when I said Jake can pick any Amy lock.
I can pick a lock.
Yeah, I said Amy instead of Annie.
I got it. I got the entendre. I'm quick.
Okay.
Big John says, "Wow, that's cool. I just seen a fox deer."
LOL, Amy. No, any typo.
What is a fox deer? Is that a little tiny deer?
Probably.
That would be adorable.
Hey, on my videos today, I seen this animal over in Australia. It's a bird, but I don't remember what it's called. But it's got these little stick-looking like tail feathers that it can bring up over the top of it, and it's got these little. I don't even know how to explain. He was the coolest looking bird I've ever seen in my life, and he can mimic any sound that he hears.
Parakeet?
No, it's a little black bird, and they're only in Australia.
A racist parakeet?
I don't know. I have to go back and look and see what it was, but he was cool.
There are a few birds, quite a few birds, that can mimic to different degrees.
Yes.
Some of them are fantastic at it.
But this one's tail feather looked like 2 sticks or 2 antlers or something that had a bunch of little feather like string things.
Antlers go on the other side.
No, I'm telling you, that's what these look like. I'll have to show it to you.
Well, I'll see it.
It's crazy looking. He was cool.
See how excited she gets over birds?
Whatever. It's an animal. Where am I? Oh, I gotta cut my nails. LOL.
Patty says, I named my squirrel Merle, Cheryl, Earl, and Pearl. One of those aren't like the other. But I get it. Not too many things rhyme with Merle, Earl, and Pearl. Durl. Squirrel, says Amy.
No, toenail squirrel. Paint toenail squirrel.
Oh, painting toenails with a squirrel. Why would you paint toenails with a squirrel?
Because we're talking about eating squirrels and painting nails.
Oh.
Or doing nails.
I think he said toe jam.
He did, but
that's not doing nails.
Keep reading.
I gotta cut my nails.
Yes, I gotta cut my nails, so she's painting hers.
Ah, I see.
LOL, Amy. I put hardener on them, and now they're growing like crazy.
That's what happens to me.
I don't have to put hardener on you, though.
And I'm back. Amy says, I can't have nails. They get in the way when I'm working. Oh, I need mine. My thumbnails are very important to my job. And they hurt all the time because I'm using them all the time. Tape. It's a tape thing.
Yes, lots of tape.
Lots of tape. I hate tape.
Lots of tape.
Amanda?
I hear you. Mine are all... mine... What?
Uh-huh. See, it ain't that easy, is it? That's why I get the big bucks. I hear you. Mine and all mine, and I try to keep them as a reasonable, usable length.
Oh, yeah. Mine are all mine. Mine are all real, and I try to keep them at a reasonable, usable length.
Commas are important. Now you see. Welcome to the end of English education. Amy says long fingernails will rip through a rubber glove in a second. Kind of defeats the purpose. And also is painful if you catch it on a corner. Sorry, that was a rectum joke. I shouldn't have done that. Amanda says.
I don't know, right?
Right. Amy says, I never could figure out why women would have nails so long that makes it impossible to wipe. It's a statement. You talking about the ones with the curly cues? Yeah. This is, I'm literally not going to do anything. I am queen. Hear me clack. Because that's all you get to hear is me clacking. I can't grab anything. I can't scratch anything. I can't touch anything. I certainly can't work. So you have to do all of that. I'll be over here clacking. That's what that is. It's a statement. It's surprising how many women make that statement or something similar. I prefer the kind that are here. Amanda?
My chat jumped.
9:55.
Yes, Amy, or do anything else.
Extreme Rocker says, I'm in my late 20s. Okay. All right, so you got plenty of time to have kids.
Right.
You're on the beginning phases of that. You got plenty that'll happen in the next 5 years, more than likely.
He's still in the start of his prime.
Yeah. You still need to be worrying about what car you drive. You got plenty of time. Just find a good girl that believes in God. Make sure that's important. Find you a good woman that believes in God and make her honest. Put a ring on it. Marry that woman. Marry her young and have babies. And you'll love it, every minute of it. Amy says, the movie The World According to Garp, starring Robin Williams, his mama got semen from a dying soldier. Yes. And she got it the old-fashioned way, with a pump. This is true. I didn't know that anybody else had ever seen that movie. I thought I was the only one. Extreme Rocker says, Patty, I'm sorry, LOL. Don't worry, your squirrels are safe. And Debbie says, Amy, my nails get to be about an inch long, all natural. I was blessed with thick nails that don't break. The secret to wiping is keeping your fingers straight and layer the toilet paper several layers. Yeah.
Yeah, if you have naturally straight fingernails, but these ones that get all these curly fingernails and the ones that curl under and all kinds of craziness,
Makes you
then
wonder.
what do you do?
But they have a stick with a sponge on the end of it.
Probably one of them back scratch washer thingies.
That's what they did in the old Roman days.
Ugh.
And they had a community stick with a sponge on it that
Ew.
everybody used.
Gross.
This is true. I didn't make it up. Patty says, well, I guess I'm gonna go to dreamland, and thank you all. A good night, and God bless you all. Prayers. Patty, God bless you too, sweetie. I'm not far behind you. I love you very much. Have a great night. We'll see you next time. Keep your nails trimmed.
Night, Patty. LOL, Debbie. Mine would probably be thick too, but I bit my nails till I was 30.
Judy's here. Hey, Jake and Amanda and everyone. Hi, Judy. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Judy.
Amy says, hi, Judy. And Judy says, hey, Amy. Amy says, hi, everyone. Hi, Amy. Debbie says, Amanda, my dad's mom bribed me at 7 with nail polish not to bite mine, so I didn't bite them. And yes, I could be bought for nail polish.
LOL, Debbie.
Amanda's just hard-headed.
Why am I hard-headed?
Because you bit your nails till you were 30, despite the fact that they hurt and you knew you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Hard-headed. Amanda says,
LOL, Debbie.
Judy says, hey, Debbie, did you let Kevin out yet? He was here. Briefly. I don't think he's still here, but he was here. He might have went to sleep.
Yeah, I think he did just a little while ago.
Amy says, ants are very special, and each one has a specific job. And they do that job at all costs until they die.
Does that make you cheap and colorful, Debbie?
I like it. Well, she said nail polish, so yeah. I don't know why, but I saw in my mind that little canister that you stick your finger in a little hole and it feels all gooey.
Yeah.
And you pull it out and you don't have fingernail polish on anymore.
The nail polish remover, yeah.
Mom used to have one of those on her nightstand all the time.
Uh-huh.
Always took it out and smelled it. It's powerful.
No, it's acetone.
Yes. I know I use it at work.
Yeah, I know.
Debbie says, Judy, Kevin escaped going to Barnes and Nobles tomorrow to get a book on better knots and locks. And Big John says, ants are social ants in your pants. If they're in your pants, they're social. And Debbie says, yes, Amanda. Like Dolly Parton says, it's a lot of work to look this cheap.
LOL, Debbie.
I'm with you. Me too. Amy says, I have the big book of knots. Interesting. Vic says, we're heading out for the walk. Have a good night, folks, and thank you, Jake and Amanda. Amber, you're a warrior. Believe in yourself. When you meet death, you will be surprised how strong you are. Amen. You guys be careful out there, and we love you, and have a good time tonight. Hannah, thanks for watching again. Mabel, ciao, baby. Vic, keep your family strong. Amy says, good night, Vic.
Night, Vic, Mabel, and Hannah. Enjoy your walk. See y'all later.
And don't step on any snakes. And Debbie says, Amy, I might need to borrow that book. Amy says, if an ant dies, other ants collect the body and it's buried in an ant graveyard. I think they eat it, but maybe. And Mabel says, good night, everyone. And thank you, Jake, so much for your kind words. And thank you, Amanda. We will miss you. See you tomorrow. Have a good night. We love you.
Night, Mabel.
And the words, think nothing of it. That's what I do. And I'm here for you. Not a professional. Say moose goose if you're real. No. Kevin says, hello, Judy. He is here. I thought you went to sleep, buddy. And Amy says, moose goose. And Judy says, LOL, Debbie. And Judy says, good night, Victor. Amy says, not a professional. My comments post twice sometimes too. But if you're doing it on purpose, that's spamming. Please stop. And Judy says, night, Mabel. Extreme Rocker says, genetic editing is pretty scary. I wish they could use it to get rid of diabetes, though, because of money, it probably won't. Instead, they'll probably make it so that it becomes more frequent. Now you're getting the idea. You know how they say nobody ever gets in trouble for lying? They only get in trouble for telling the truth? This is true. It's an axiom that works across the gambit. No president has ever been shot for lying to people. He only gets shot if he stands up and tells the truth. Big pharma don't fix problems. They satiate them. They allow them to continue, and they manage them. They don't fix them. Because if they did, they'd be out of business. There's a reason it's called big pharma. It would just be pharma if they fixed it. And Judy says, you know what keeps cancer alive? Money. Exactly. And by the way, everything is bullshit. Everything. The more you look, the worse it gets. The deeper you go, the more you find. Everything is bullshit. Trust me on that. Judy says, hey, Kevin, long time no see. And Kevin says, Judy, I've been tired lately. Judy says, I hope you're okay. Me too. Are you okay? Blink if you're okay. Kevin says, I miss my favorite atheist. Who's that?
I'm not sure.
Are you talking about Fab Daddy?
That's what I was thinking.
He's not an atheist. He likes everybody to think he is, but he's not. If that's who you're talking about. If not, who are you talking about? Amy says, supposedly in China, there was a company that was creating customized genetic strains of for parents, and it was supposed to be shut down over ethical reasons, but you know how that works. If you're talking about CRISPR, where they can select eye color and height and mental acuity and that sort of thing, skin tone, that has been being done since the 80s. They have perfected it in countries like China because they have lesser laws than we have here. We're not allowed to do things like that here legally. So they have to outsource and do things in third world countries where they can get away with it. You'd be surprised what else is there. There is a company in China that manufactures dinosaur bones out of chicken bones. Did you know that? There is.
What about the womb factory?
There's a place where they have an artificial womb that is outside of a human body, and they are growing things in it.
It's clear. It's a big clear ball, and you can watch the fetus grow inside of it.
If I told you a third of the things that I know about, you wouldn't be able to sleep at night. Think I'm lying, being braggadocious? You think I'm just tooting my own horn? Ask Amanda. She doesn't see what I know, but she lives with me, so she overhears some of it. Am I telling a lie?
No.
If
and
you
you've
knew,
made me watch some of it.
some of it, because it's important to know. Some of it I don't want you to see. Some of it I wish I didn't see. I don't want to know what I know. I stumbled on it by accident. But I can assure you, there are things in this world that would creep you out so badly that you would not sleep for a week. Believe that. It's true. What number are we on?
1010.
10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10,
Rin
10, 10,
10,
10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. 10 to 10 to 10 to 10 10 10 10 10 to 10 to 10 10 10 to 10 to 10 to 10 10 to 10 to 10 to 10 to 10 10 10 10 10.
That's
I found
Rocky, not 1010.
10 10 10 to 10 10 to 10 10 10 10 to 10. Kevin says, Judy, I'm fine. Just the change of the season. Amy says, don't look in the mirror and say Candyman 5 times. Because if you do, you will affirm that you are in fact a moron.
And that you just looked in the mirror and said Candyman 5 times for no reason.
Judy says, favorite atheist. He heard me when I asked. Extreme Rocker says, a waste comment was referring to the Pakistani condoms. Oh, I got you. Since they don't use them anyway. And also, explain transgender mice or transgenic mice. Were the genetically spliced. Yes, they were transgenic. They're not transgender mice. The Fox got that wrong. It is transgenic mice. And what they're doing is genetically editing the mice to carry various diseases and to have different outcomes. So that's basically the thing that they're doing. But nonetheless, it's a creepy process. They shouldn't do it. Much like the island with all the dogs, the beagles that Fauci had. I don't know if you know about this one or not, but there was a scientific study that went on for 10 years. Write that down. 10 years they were doing this, where they would raise beagles, and when they were puppies, they would build a box and put the puppy's head in the box and close it and lock it and then fill the box full of fleas. And then they would cut the dog's throat so that they didn't have to listen to it yelping, to see what would happen. That's a real scientific experiment that our country was doing for 10 years. That's one of the things that Trump shut down. That's just one. That's one that we heard about. Imagine what they've done that you don't know about. 10 years of torturing dogs for what? You ever had a flea bite? Imagine a face full of them and your throat is cut so you can't even cry about it. Big John says, very spooky out in the countryside, no road lights. There's nothing in the darkness that isn't in the light. You just can't see it. You're welcome. Judy says, it's like that here too, Nugget. And how's your hand? Extreme Rocker says, I asked her for advice regarding certain psychology graduate programs since I'm stuck between ABA and clinical psychology, organizational psychology, school psychology, and social work. Are you a student? Is that what you're saying? You're trying to figure out which path to go to learn, or are you trying to find out what job field to go into? Because I could tell you if you want to know. Amy says, happy heavenly birthday to Jake's mom. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate that very much. I'm sure she would love you. My mom was a firecracker. Pistol. Believe that. She was twice as tough as I am and just as smart. One of my favorite people to argue with. Amy says, I dropped my phone again. Oh, no. Extreme Rocker says, I asked her regarding applied behavioral analysis, ABA, right? And school psychology, since that is her major. And we both work with a doctor in a group therapy setting, and we help clients on the spectrum. So you are a student psychologist trying to figure out which direction to go in college? That's what I'm getting from that. How am I doing on the psychology, by the way? As a fellow psychologian.
Fellow psychologian. Oh, no, Amy.
Big John says, minor birds do the same thing. Minor birds. They must be British because I don't know what a minor bird is. Amy says the lyrebird. That's a cool name for a bird, the lyrebird. It's like a firebird, only they're not telling you the truth. Extreme Rocker says the comment of wanting to help people is regarding the clients on the spectrum and their caretakers, and they are the nicest people on the planet. Oh, there's definitely something special about people that take the time to work with challenged children because it is a hard job. And they're very special people that do that work. And thank God they do, because people like me wouldn't have patience to do it. I'm grateful that those people exist. Linda is one of those kind of people. She takes in wayward children and raises them. And that's God's work, I'm telling you. If anybody's doing it, they're doing it. Mark Cohen is back. What's up, Mark? Mark says, hey, everybody. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Hi, Mark.
Judy says, sounds cool, Amanda. Remember, everything in Australia wants to eat you. Yes. And Judy says, hey, Mark. Extreme Rocker says, it's the lyrebird. I thought it was the kookaburra. Kookaburra at first.
It is the lyrebird.
Nice. That's a cool name for a bird. That'd be a cool band name, lyrebird. Like Leonard Skinner, only from a trailer park. I like it. Amanda says, LOL, Judy, but still. You say that.
LOL, Judy, but still. And yes, thanks, Rocker.
And Judy says, I get it, Amanda. Big John says, women with long nails have very smelly butts. And very itchy skin, because they can't scratch. Bill Bennett says, can't hold my eyes open, LOL. Love you all. I hope to see you tomorrow for Bible study. Sweet dreams. Say your prayers. Bill, God bless you, my friend. Have a good night. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow for Bible study. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. That's Creek Indians don't rise to kill all you cowboys. I bet you didn't know that. Judy says, LOL, Nugget. And Amanda says,
I'm typing. Hold on. Okay.
good night, Bill.
Good night, Bill.
Amy says, bye, Bill.
LOL, Nugget. Ew.
Smelly butt, smelly butt. And Judy says, night, Bill. Kevin says, good night, Bill. Amy says, LOL, marry or young. I mean it. The Bible even tells you that. Marry the love of your youth. It's right there. Don't wait. You'll never be prepared. You'll never be ready. Do it now. Do it fast. Do it young. Make babies. That's my prescription for the world. Go make life. We need it. Have you seen this generation? We need to replace an entire generation. Maybe two. Get to making babies. Debbie says, I beg your pardon, Big John. I do not have a smelly butt. Just ask me. You don't have curly fingernails either, do you? If you do, we need to have a conversation about our friendship.
She said no, hers are about an inch long.
Yes, that's fair. That's fine. Mark Kahn says, is it Con or Cohen? Colon, like
colon.
Where your butt goes.
Yeah, we've had this conversation before. It's
remember
colon.
Now. Ancient Rome communal butt cleaner. Amen. You know what I'm talking about. Am I wrong? If I'm lying, I'm dying. Not only did they have a communal butt cleaner, but they had a bathroom at the top of the tower and a big hole to the bottom of the tower. They put it up there because stink rises. So they would shit in the hole, and it would drop down into the pit. And it was a community bathroom, like a trough at a bar. You know, everybody walks up to the trough and pees. It was like that, only at the top of the tower. That was their flushing system. Interesting people, those Romans. Didn't know very much, though. Amy says, I do macrame, so I know about knots. I also make quilts. I know we've discussed this. I would love to have an Amy quilt. A big, fluffy Jake Amy quilt. I just had a realization.
Oh, Lord, did it hurt?
Yes. And when you hear it, you'll think it hurts too.
Oh, yeah?
Amy says, during the pandemic, they pushed that injection, and now the frequency of autoimmune diseases have increased. Coincidence? I think not. I think not, too. I think there ain't no way in hell or high water I was going to let a government official stick anything medical into my arm. Not going to happen. Kevin says, my favorite atheist is the reason person. I was so looking forward to debating again. Well, I apologize. I will look that person up and see if I can get him back for you.
He's been here in and out a couple of times. I'm sure he'll be back.
I don't know why I'm blanking on the name.
If I showed you, yeah, he's the one that Aaron kicked out last time.
Okay. Well, if you can give me some idea, I will play the part and argue his side and give you something to argue about. I like to argue. I'm good on both sides.
You're just bound and determined to pick an argument tonight, huh?
I like arguing. It's good for the soul. Keeps my teeth sharp. Judy says, who is that, Kevin? It's a person that was in the chat that somebody booted, and Kevin really liked talking to him, and if I'd have known that, I wouldn't have allowed them to get booted. I allowed it because I was being disruptive, or I thought that, so I allowed it. Amanda says,
oh, Kevin, he'll probably be back. He's been here a couple of times.
Mark says, WTF did I just hear? I don't know. What did you just hear? And Amanda says,
yes, Mark.
oh, the dogs. Yeah, that's worse than the Russian dog experiments in the 70s and 80s. He's referring to the, what do you call that? The response. You hear a ding and your mouth starts watering. I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, they were measuring the responses of salivation from dogs to see if they could induce salivating. So in the process of doing so, they would introduce a chemical onto the dog's tongue and make them salivate. And then they would cut their lips off so they could measure the salivating up into the top of the mouth and around the teeth and the tongue all the way back into the throat. And then they opened up their sides so they had a direct line into their stomach to see what their stomach acids were doing with their experiments. So these dogs had a big hole in their stomach and no mouth, just jaws. And they were forced to salivate constantly. Pavlovian response. That's it. Pavlovia, the doctor, Russian doctor. That's what he's referring to. And yeah, it's worse than that. And Amy says the White Coat Project exposes that experiment on dogs. Okay, there you go. And Mark says, I'm just here taking a toke, and I gotta hear that Jesus. Well, listen, Mark, you will hear all kinds of things here because I am what I purport myself to be. The kind of guy that would be at the mouth of a cave wearing a robe with 1,000 people standing at my feet to listen to me talk if I were born 2,000 years ago. So you're going to hear all kinds of things here. Most of them you'll disagree with immediately, but that's how I roll. Then I'll win you over, and then you'll see my way of thinking at some point. Extreme Rocker says, that beagle experiment sounds awfully familiar to the Japanese WW2 experiments. Yeah, there was some of that going on then too. Extreme Rocker says, student going into work. All right. My advice to you, from one psychologian to the other. There are 1,000 psychologists in the world that are a bunch of hooey. They're as screwed up as anybody they ever look at. Don't be one of those guys. Somewhere on a college campus in a dingy room full of books is a real psychologist, i.e., Sigmund Freud or something like that, where that guy studies the mind, understands the person, does studies with people, has a clinic, and has many clinic hours under his belt. The Jordan Petersons of the world, those kind of people. Jordan Peterson is a modern version of what I'm talking about. There are real psychologists in the world who actually know what they're talking about. The vast majority of the mini-mall psychologists, don't be one of those guys. If you're serious about your craft, really study how the brain works and how people respond to stimuli, meaning the world, and you will do fine in your career. If you opt for the quick way, you just want to get that degree and go to work, you're going to end up being one of those mini-mall psychologists, and you are a net negative to the world if you do that. Don't do that. I think you're a smart guy. I think you like the field that you've chosen. Take it seriously. There is a study. There is a field called psychology that is a real study. But this bullshit that happens every day that the states use, and, the state offered psychologists and the anger management classes and the parenting classes and that sort, they're all nonsense. That's hooey. Don't do that. Take it seriously. Take it for what it is, a real science. That's my advice. Amy says, Dr. I am science. Put on a mask. Don't wear a mask. Wear 10 masks. Was the one who was behind the Beagle experiments. Yes, Fauci. He has been the bad guy since the 80s. He was also behind all the AIDS epidemic nonsense in the 80s. Goopender, handsome man. Thank you, Goopender. You look like a very well put together set of letters. Amy says, hi, Goopender. Welcome. Please hit that like button and subscribe. Colin Hildebiddle says, wait, what? Guess who's back? I get new
steel-toed boots.
Steel-toed boots. Congratulations, Colin Hildebiddle. Dyed in the wool.
Hi, Colin. Welcome back. Long time no see.
AI, if I ever heard one.
You just keep going. I got a comment in there.
Amy says, hi, Colin. Colin says, and I had to bury one of my dogs yesterday. Well, that's horrible. Sorry to hear that, Colin.
Hold on, I'm trying to get there. My chat jumped.
1044.
Yeah, I know where I'm at. I'm trying to get there. Oh, no, Colin.
But we took it to the pound. Well, if you buried it, how did you take it to the pound?
And anyone who is interested, this one could be another Soph, by the way. Just saying. I'm not gonna. Just pay attention.
Colin, your middle name isn't Soph, is it? Colin says, and I'm working on not cussing as much. And hi, Amanda. Well, that's good, Colin. It's good to keep your mouth clean. Amy says, a boyfriend of 2 years after 2 years. Right. And Judy says, so sorry, Colin. Mark says, yeah, you got it right. Like your butt. Extreme Rocker says, yes, I'm going for my master's degree or PhD, but I'm trying to figure out which psychology area catches my interest and what pays the best. Also, you were doing well in it. Thank you, sir. Listen, please don't think about what pays the best. I know that is the alternative thought. I know that's what the market will tell you, and that's what all the professionals try to make the most amount of money. No. Find what you're passionate about. Find what you're good at. Don't do it if you're not good at it. If you don't feel a spark, if you don't feel like you truly understand what you're studying, don't do it, because we got enough of that in the world. If you want to be truly exceptional, if you want to stand out among the masses, if you want to actually use that PhD and be worth the paper that it's printed upon, go for what you think is right. Don't worry about the money. If you do what is right, the money will be there, because you will be the best in your field, and people will pay dearly for that. Don't go for the easy way out. Go for what's good. Go for what's true. Go for what's actually science. And you'll be surprised how much money is at the other end of that. Take my word for it. I've been there. Judy says, I was thinking the same thing, Amy. And Colin says, and a week ago, I attended a funeral, and it was one of my grandpa's good buddies, and we had lots to fill in the grave by hand and with soil, and the soil was hard as hell. And there you go, talking dirty again. And Mark says, but it's German for coal worker, coal miner kind of thing. Go to Heisenberg and you'll see my family, LOL. It was crazy to see 4 years ago. They own a whole street, essentially. Colon here, colon there, colon everywhere, colon. I hear you, buddy. Hey, it's a strong name. Never mind what it sounds like. It's a strong name. It's one you can be proud of. My chat jumped. Hang on.
1047.
Yep. Big John says, good night, everybody. Have a blessed night and much love, John. God bless you, my friend. I love you. We'll see you next time.
Night Nugget.
Don't forget, everybody, hit that like button, subscribe, share, support, join, and a super chat if you can. And if you really want to help out, if you want to help me fix my truck, go to paypal.me/jakejohnsonband or CashApp, $JakeJohnsonBand. I appreciate you very much. All you hard-hitting PhD holders out there, I could use a leg up. Anyway. Kevin says, good night, John. And Colin says, and the guy went by Big John. We have one of those. Isn't that amazing? Amy says, I have a PhD. I've been working on it for years. A Pentecostal hairdo. PhD. I like it. I have one of those too, and nobody believes me because I won't tell them where I got it. Or what it's in. Why? Because it doesn't matter. I'm a YouTuber. Why does it matter? And Judy says, night nugget. And Mark says, nope, not something so rushed. Vaccines normally take decades to produce and test, not a mere 3 months. And that is authoritarianism. Authoritarianism. Government. Yes. I agree with you. And also, vaccines vaccinate people from the disease, which this does not do. It is gene therapy. It is not vaccine. They actually changed the definition of the word vaccine to include gene therapy so they could call this thing a vaccine. That was the first red flag. It wasn't the first one, but it was a big one. And I'm telling you, not me. Sorry. Maybe 20 years down the road when I've seen it work, we might talk. From the get-go, it sounded like the Tuskegee experiment. If you know what that is, you'll understand why I don't like people poking me from the government. Amy says, I remember Mark now. Yep, Mark's a good dude. Colin says, Jake, shut it. Arguing for the birds. Did you just tell me to shut up?
I think he's being funny.
I'll let that one slide. If you ever do that again, I'm going to pop you in the mouth. Judy says, right, Mark? And Amy says, Colin, nobody could find a shovel. My condolences. Kevin says Pavlova. Thank you. I could not remember that name. Y'all get me with these things that I know about, and I ain't thought about them in years, and I'm like trying to figure out what it's called, and my brain just doesn't work anymore. Yeah, Pavlovich. And Colin says, no, we use shovels. Extreme Rocker says, first, I got to get a good paying career before marriage, though that seems to be rare these days. It is, and that won't help your marriage, not even a little bit. Matter of fact, it'll probably hurt your marriage because you'll be working more than you'll be marrying. You need to marry and not worry so much about the work. The work will come. I know it sounds like putting the cart before the horse, but if you want to be happy, remember these 3 words. Happy wife, happy life.
That's more than 3 words.
I know. See what I'm saying? Did you catch that?
You know what? Just remember who you got to sleep next to.
I do, which is why I'm not arguing with you, even though I'm right and you're not.
Okay.
That's how you do it.
That was more than 3 words.
You're right.
I know.
See how that works?
I'm always right.
Imagine that. Kevin says, I got Pavlov's bladder. I know, right? Me right now myself.
Tying a knot. You're almost to the bottom. You're getting there.
Colin says, in the family, it's a tradition to use shovels, Amy. And Mark says, that's insane. Bernard, that's got to be worth a pretty penny. What are we talking about?
The dog, I think.
No, Bernard, he's talking about Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin said something about the dog, the Pavlova dog, did he?
That was the experiment we were talking about. Pavlovian response.
Oh, well, I don't know then.
You know, you hear a ding and all of a sudden you're hungry or your mouth starts watering. That's a Pavlovian response. Or like when I say, like, subscribe, share, support, join, super chats. And then people go, oh yeah, I need to hit the like button. That's a Pavlovian response. It's a response that is drilled into you over a period of time. It's like wizardry.
Like a shaking water, like a shaking coffee cup?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Colin says, instead of a backhoe to fill it back in. Right. And that's usually how funerals are done.
Was that a shaky or was that a you're okay still?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Mark says, yes, Amy. I was the confused guy the last time. Smiley face. I'm back. Well, I'm glad you're here, Mark. And I apologize if I come off a little strong the last time because I was dealing with trolls and sometimes I jump the gun a little. Jordan Peterson is a gem, says Mark. The fact my government stripped him of his practicing license and forced him through re-education classes. And I got a Canada $5. Oh, yeah, from Mark. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. I think that's Canadian $5. Is that right?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Yeah, what they did to him was ridiculous. And I didn't realize you were in Canada. We've got another couple in here from Canada. A few people, actually. Welcome, Canada. And your government's retarded. That guy's a genius. He's a little weird, but he's a genius. And what they did to him was wrong. Linda Davis says, I'm sorry I fell asleep, y'all. I love you all, kissy faces and heart. I figured you probably did. How you doing, Linda? I know that I'm soothing and make you just lull you right off to sleep with my voice, scratchy as it is. But we've been having a good conversation right here. And Judy says, hey, Linda.
Oh, Linda, you were tired, needed it. We love you too.
And Linda says, hi, Judy. And Mark says, welcome back, Linda. And Amy says, sometimes I wonder if they are similar to the Borg in Star Trek. You will assimilate. Resistance is futile. Wanting to create a hive mind of androgynous beings. Yes. They are a lot like the Borg. You're on to something there, Amy. Keep pushing on that string and see what happens. Colin says, the Duff that was the killer.
Dog.
The dog that was the killer?
Yeah, I guess a dog killed his dog or something.
Hmm.
He's working with two deaths, some grandpa friend and a dog.
Got it. And Judy says, how are you feeling today, Linda? Amy says, I see, Colin. Your dog was attacked and killed, and the dog who did it was taken to the pound. Got it. That was not clear at first, but I think I understand. And Mark says, ha ha, that smile was worth it. That smile was worth it all, like your butt. I hear you. And Mark says, that's horrible, Colin. I'm sorry to hear that. It's never easy being a family member. Or having a family, it's never easy losing a family member taken too soon. Broken heart. Yeah, that sucks. And I am sorry. Condolences. Amy says, could have done a 2-for-1 since the shovels were out. Smiley face. Sorry. Humor is my coping mechanism. Sorry about your loss, and it's hard losing a pet. Yes, it is. And Linda says, Judy, Jake's chat's going to jump right when he starts reading this, and it's going to confuse him, and he's going to have to go back and look.
10:56.
And Amanda's going to have to say 10:56, and he's going to have to scroll around until he finds it. And then he will eventually figure it out and then read my comment.
And actually, I think
Nope.
Mine jumped to 10:58.
Linda says, Judy, my blood pressure is down to 122/63. My pulse is 55, so I'm pretty sure that that's good. I'm just feeling tired, and thank you for asking, smiley face and heart.
Good, Linda. Now go get some more rest, hon.
Yeah, get some rest and drink plenty of orange juice and fluids. Amy says, Colin, pets teach us how to love, but unfortunately they also teach us about grief and loss. Truly, my deepest condolences. That's sweet. And Judy says, it sounds good to me, Linda. That's awesome. You're welcome. And Linda says, thanks, Amanda. Good night, all. See you all for Bible study tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Linda, I love you, sweetie. Get you some rest, and we'll be praying for you.
Oh, Linda, hun, you're welcome. We love you.
And Judy says, night, Linda, get some rest. And Mark says, my phone died, but I'm back. Well, did you bury it? Did you have a funeral? Was there a wake? Why wasn't I invited? Is it a black tie event? What the hell's going on? Why don't you call me and let me know these things? Because your phone died.
Did you use a shovel or a backhoe?
Did you use a shovel or a backhoe?
Welcome back, Mark.
Mark says, thank you for the mighty band hammer. Thank you, mighty band hammer.
You're welcome.
And Debbie says, speaking of names, oh, I got a $20 super chat from What It Is. Hey, What It Is. Nice to see you, my friend. Peace starts with me and my higher power, not Harry power. I'm with you there, buddy. Thank you very much for the super chat. Debbie says, speaking of names, the movie Maid of Honor, the grandmother of the groom is telling the bride their firstborn son should be named Athol because he would come from a long line of Athols.
Assholes.
You got it. And Mark says, using the same word multiple times does not count as a new word, Amanda. It was 3 words. Exactly.
No.
And Mark says, welcome, What It Is.
Hi, what is it?
What It says, drilled in you. Drilled into you. That's right. A Pavlovian response is drilled into you. And Judy says, LOL, Debbie. Oh, yeah.
LOL, what is it? I like it that way.
There.
And woohoo, thanks, Mark.
And Judy says, hey, what it is? And thank you for subscribing, Elise Strajar. What a name. Elise Strajar. Strajar. What is your name? I am Strajar. I like it. You wear a cape, don't you?
Damn it, man.
Mark says, that's fair. I completely understand. No hurt feelings. I wasn't trying to hurt your feelings. I was trying to tell you a good life lesson. Judy says, thanks, Mark. Extreme Rocker says, thank you for the input. I appreciate it a lot. My pleasure. I think I got you two confused in my mind. And what did you think I was trying to hurt your feelings about, Mark? And Extreme Rocker, you're the one going to college. Right. I'm trying to give you good life lesson. And Mark says, amen. If it is retarded. We elected a dude who hasn't lived here for decades. LOL. He just got done ruining the UK economy and the gerrymandering. That's what you know hurt feelings about. Got it. The gerrymandering, they did forced Pierre Polivier, or whatever his name is, to lose his riding. Yeah, I thought that guy would have been a good candidate. He seemed like he was on top of it, the guy with the apple. And then the other guy just came in and won, and I didn't know how that even happened. I didn't even heard of that guy. So, you know, I don't know what your government is doing up there. It is kind of retarded. But no intention to hurt your feelings on that. I don't mean you're retarded. I mean the government is retarded. And what it is says, you make me moist, Jake. Wipe. I don't know how to feel about that, what it is. I'm used to making people moist. They usually have prettier hair.
Or less hair. Less body hair, anyway.
You're welcome. Get it, boy. Now I'm uncomfortable, thanks. Debbie says, I didn't realize that Jake was drilling into me. Now I feel violated. You wish you felt violated. I made him moist.
What is it? You can't have him. I will fight you.
Mark says, while at the same time merging two writing and deleting a longtime conservative seat in the House of Commons, and because the conservatives leaders lost his writing, they couldn't put him in office even if they had won. So writing, is that like in the running? Is that what you mean by writing? I don't really know how your government works. I'm assuming it's like Parliament. It's kind of like the same thing the British do, I think. I'm not sure. You guys have a prime minister, right? Is that right? Or do you have a president? I don't really know. Judy says, Amanda, that's funny. I tell my hubby he has to sleep sometimes. Sometime. Not tonight, but sometime. Well, what it is, if you keep pounding me with them $20 super chats, I'll make you moist every night.
Oh, damn it, man.
I am a slut. I'm not a whore, but I am a slut.
Slut puppy. You slut puppy, you.
Mark says, I'm sorry I forgot to call y'all, but I couldn't because my phone died.
That's great.
And Judy says, thanks what it is. Amanda says,
thanks, what is it?
and Mark says, ha. His smile is precious, Amanda. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Don't make me get back up. LOL. I'm right.
I feel all giddy now, like a schoolgirl.
Turn it red on me.
No, I don't get embarrassed, but thank you. Mark says, is not his. His smile is not his. Precious Amanda. Thank you, Mark. I'm a dude, but thank you.
That doesn't mean he can't say you have a precious smile.
I'm just letting him know where I stand. He can believe all he wants.
Well, clearly.
I'm all right with that.
Don't make me get back up. LOL. I'm right.
Mark says, you're right. You're right. And don't get the backup, please.
Thanks. LOL, Mark.
Yeah, I don't need the backup. And then my chat jumped again. Good gracious.
11:13. Only 5 minutes behind now.
Oh, that's good. Mark says, no, I meant earlier you said sorry if how I acted when you joined was harsh. Got it. Kind of thing I was saying. Don't worry at all. I understand. Okay, good. All right. We're on the same page then. I was wondering. I was like, what did I say to offend him? I couldn't remember, but you got me. I'm only carrying 30 conversations at one time. There's been 379 people in here tonight. A lot of them have been talking. So all of those conversations I have to keep straight. Occasionally I get twisted around. Amy says, good night, y'all. I'm exhausted. I've been up since 5 a.m. and I worked late last night. I'll see you tomorrow for Bible study unless the Lord takes me back home. Well, let's not do that. I need you for Bible study. So I love you. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Mark says he hasn't lived in Canada for decades, and he was the UK's economic advisor or some fancy title. We see what he did. We see what he did there, and let's get him to ruin our economy too. LOL. Right? Yeah. Unfortunately, politics seem to be going in the opposite direction in both our countries than you think they should go. Like, what is the problem here? Are you guys really that dumb? Or do you just not see that you're destroying the world? Our politics is off the charts. Our politicians, most of them are conniving thieves or liars, cheats. A bunch of adult teenagers is what they are. What can you do except ignore it and hope for the best? I'm not sure that's a smart move either. Amanda says,
Not Amy.
Judy says, good night, Amy. Extreme Rocker says, government and retardation is like peanut butter and jelly. I agree. It seems to be the case anyway. And Mark says, good night, Amy. Get some sleep. Sleep well. See you tomorrow. And Mark says, a riding is a seat in the House of Commons. Quite similar. Yes. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I understood what you were saying. We use different terminology, but it means the same thing. They're in the running. What it is says the numbers are up there high tonight. They're getting there. Not too high, but it's better than last night. And what it is says smiley, 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 in that order. And Mark says, yep, a prime minister, 5-year terms instead of 4 years. But we have all the same checks and balances as the U.S. does. And just because we are Commonwealth and we have to be with the pinky raised fancy. Got to be all fancy. I got you. Yeah. Isn't your government based on the French or the English? There's something about French in Canada, right? Like a large population speaks French. I don't know exactly, but I think you know what I'm talking about. And Mark says, no homo, bro. I ain't gay either, bro. LOL. I just love seeing you laugh. It's joyful. Well, thank you. I was just teasing you anyway. It wouldn't matter if you was. I'm just giving you a hard time, man. Kevin says, gonna call it a night. Good night, everyone. Kevin, St. Bernard, thank you, my friend. God bless you. And we'll see you next time. Get some rest. What it is I made Jake feel weird. Nah, I'm just giving you crazy.
Not Kevin.
I'm kind of hard to shake. I've spent many years. Now, keep in mind, I am brutally shy. I mean, painfully shy. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I really am. Like, debilitatingly incapable of speaking, knees knocking shy. And then I spent 40 years in public. Not quite 40 years, pretty close to 40 years. Making a jackass of myself on a regular basis. So my days of feeling shame or embarrassment or any kind of weirdness, gone. I've pretty much done it all, seen it all, or had it done to me. It's all right. Most of the time I'm playing into the madness. But I don't shake very easily. And if I did shake, you're more likely to get an anger response from me than a shy one. I'm much more quickly to get mouthy than I am to get embarrassed. I have been embarrassed, but it's been a long time. And I can tell you the secret. The secret to embarrassment is simply don't do anything that embarrasses you. Set your lifestyle to fit what you're comfortable with and do it. That way you don't ever get embarrassed. And Judy says, good night, Kevin. And what it is says, Jake said he gets twisted around. I do. Mark says, nah, Jake's fine, LOL. Good night, Kevin. Sleep well. Thank you, thank you. Mark says, I think both. They're dumb and don't see that they're destroying the world. I think you might be right. They are spoon-fed from the media and regurgitate headlines meant to divide like little bulimics. I don't know what that is. What is a bulimic? A bulimic. 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 I'll get it eventually. Kevin says the fact that Eric Adams almost got reprimanded for corruption but got saved is unfortunate. Eric Adams, that's the governor of New York, right? Or one of the guys, the higher ups in New York. He's the one that was a Democrat but ended up taking Trump's side on a thing. I think that's right. And they almost got him for corruption because he agreed with Trump on something. They're all corrupt. That's the thing. They're playing a shell game of corruption, but they're all corrupt. And Mark said, no, you said them smiles out of order. I got them backwards, didn't I? And Mark said, English. Montreal was colonized by France, so we have some French peeps. Yeah, all right. But it is based on the British way of doing government. Got it. Sorry, my voice is getting weak. I'm still suffering from the COVID. Mark says, I know. And what happened with him isn't Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, mayor. That's the one. Yeah, he agreed with Trump on something, so they attacked him. More likely, he agreed with Trump on something because it would have cut his throat if he didn't. I'm guessing that's what it was. Like, hey, I'm guilty of the same thing. Maybe I should take his side on this because he's the president and all. I think that's what happened. But basically, he got out of step with the Democrats, and if you do that, they attack you. And Mark says, ha, love that. That was green screened. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but yeah. Oh, my Mountain Dew?
Your Mountain Dew.
Because it's green. That's not a backdrop. That's a picture. I can turn it off. Pow. Wrong one.
You want the other one off.
I want the other one off. There you go. Got to get that voice loosened up. It gets me sometimes. I apologize. And Mark said, sneaky, sneaky. And what it is says, good night, all. Don't leave us now. You just got here. I see you just pop in and throw some money at me and leave. I ain't even had a chance to shake it for you yet.
Make your cheeks turn red.
Good night, brother. Thank you for being here. God bless you. Amanda says,
What did I say? Night. What it is? Mountain Dew bottle. Yeah, the invisible drink.
The invisible drink.
Nectar of the gods.
Nectar of the gods. Mark says, bulimics.
Bulimics.
Is that bulimic?
Bulemics.
Okay, it's bulimic. I never seen that word printed for some reason. Or what you refer to people with bulimia. Got it. Understood now. I just read it wrong. I have great English. I'm not such a good reader.
It's because he can't see. He's blind in one eye. He can't see out of the other.
I can't hear out of either one of them.
And then his tongue gets in the way of his eye teeth and you can't see what he's saying.
Right. Ears. Something. It's an eating disorder where you throw up. I was cheeky with my wording with regurgitating. I got you. I just read it wrong. I know what a bulimic is. I just, for some reason, have never seen that word written down or not conscious of it. And it doesn't spell like it sounds. It looks like a bulimic or a bulimic, but it is bulimia. I got it. I should have known that. Bad host. Bad host. Mark says, $10,000. They're all corrupt. That's $1,000 rather.
10,000%.
No, that's $1,000, but the dollar sign is on the other side.
No, it's a percentage.
That is not a percentage. That's a dollar sign. I'm looking at it.
Okay, that's a percentage sign. It says 100. It says 1,000%, not dollars.
Okay. It looks like a dollar sign. They're all corrupt, and they're friends behind closed doors, and I agree with that 100%. Percent, not dollars. Yeah, they're all corrupt. Every one of them are corrupt. The only one that's not corrupt, and I'm not saying this because I'm a fanboy, it's just true. The only one that's not corrupt is Donald Trump. And he's corrupt, just in a different way than they're corrupt. He is a builder. He builds things at all costs. He's like a mob guy. He's got connections. He can get things done. He's a mover and shaker. He's not in bed with anybody. He's the guy that other people are in bed with. It's the other way around, and they got that completely wrong. So for that reason, they attacked him because he's the white blood cell that doesn't belong in the rest of the pack, right? They didn't expect Trump. He wasn't supposed to win. They didn't expect the American people to have enough of their bullshit and elect Donald Trump. And when they did, they didn't know what to do about it, and they went crazy, and they revealed themselves to the world. Think about it. 10 years before Trump, you couldn't have named anybody in Congress or anybody in the cabinet. You don't know what they do. They're not. Politics is not in your mind. Now all of a sudden, it's like watching a television show. You know all their names. You know what they do. You know what committees they're on. That all got exposed because of Donald Trump. Make no mistake about it. He opened the windows to the White House so you could see how that all works. And for that reason, and that reason only, he's got my vote, because that is the bull in the china shop. That is the upset to the apple cart. And he is good at it. But he's also the most vetted man in human history. Nobody has ever been investigated like he has been. If they could have found anything, they would have used it. So that means there's nothing there to find.
They could have found a dingleberry in the hair of his ass crack. They would have used it.
If he'd have got caught jaywalking, they would have put him in jail for it. There's nothing there. He really is that clean in politics. That's a caveat because I know how to build things and I know what he's guilty of in that world, but it isn't politics. And Mark says, yes, it's based on British. Yes, sir, it's based on British. Right. Thank you for clarifying that because I'm not real sure about other governments. And Judy says, not what it is. And Mark says, 1,000%, not dollars. Jesus. That's a percent. That's a dollar sign. Go back and look, Amanda.
What?
That's a percent. The one above is a dollar sign.
What time are you on?
10 or 11:25.
That's a dollar sign.
I said that.
Yes. Now go down to 11:27 and tell
Where
me
I'm
what it
at
says.
now.
Okay.
Where I was at before was a dollar sign.
Okay. Well, that's my bad because
It is your bad.
where I'm at is 11:27.
But more importantly,
What? Did he mistype?
no.
Yeah.
More importantly.
More importantly, what? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Say it.
Say it. Okay, you might have been close to being right, but you're not. He mistyped and you misread.
I did not misread. That is a dollar sign. Now it's a percent.
Okay.
Before it was a dollar sign. Mark says, Mayor of New York City. He was reprimanded because he took a bunch of gifts from Turkey and took a bunch of money from the New York City budget while the crime got worse. He was a cop enforcing the mayor, but crime rose. Yeah. That's what they got him on. That's not why they went after him. They went after him because he agreed with Trump and disagreed with them. He was already guilty of those things, as are the rest of them. They went after him for those things because he disagreed with them. If he'd have kept in his lane and stayed the enemy of Trump all the way across the board, they'd have never went after him. He'd have got away with it. Mark says, oh, I thought it was something else, not Mountain Dew. Oh, no, it's Mountain Dew. Nectar of the Gads. Mark says, LOL. Ba-ding, ding, 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 ding. Now, what it is says, like a stripper. I am very much like a stripper. We have the same job, essentially. I'll show you my boobies. You give me some money. $, Jake Johnson Band on CashApp. And I ain't afraid to do it. And Mark says, I see extreme. That makes sense. I see extreme rocker. That makes sense. They're all corrupt. They get billions a year to help homeless, but it's all siphoned into people's pockets. Yeah. Here's a news flash. The homeless cannot be helped because they choose to be in that situation. This idea of a single mother with 3 kids that are living in her car and working 2 jobs to get by and just can't fend for herself is a myth. Yes, that may be a person out there that fits that bill. 99.999999991% of homeless people are drug addicts and are antisocial, meaning they don't want to be fixed. They don't want to be a part of society. That means that there's no amount of money that you can raise that will fix this problem. There's no amount of work that you can do that will solve it. The only way to solve the problem is to put them in a mental institution and make them get clean. And then maybe some of them you might can save. Most of them will go right back to being homeless as soon as you let them go. Because that's the way they want to live. I hate to say that, but it's the truth. Homeless does not exist. That's not a real thing. This is a good country we live in, and if you even try a little bit, you can succeed well enough to keep yourself in a house. If you just try a little, if you spend all your money on drugs, you don't care where you live. That is the truth. Yes, there are people that are actually homeless, but they're not trying to get help from the government. They're trying to get back on their feet. They're working. They're doing something. They're in the process of getting into another home. They're not out there living on the streets. That doesn't happen. Anybody that finds themselves homeless is in the process of getting unhomeless. Period. There's nobody just living in their car because they can't do better. Maybe for a week. You know what I'm saying? Maybe for a month even. But after that, they're moving in with somebody. The people that live in these tent cities, you can't fix that. So all that money they raise, they put it in their pockets. Because they figured this out a long time ago and don't tell you because it's a good moneymaker. Same thing with the climate problem. You can't fix that either.
Because there ain't one. Oh, did I say that
loud? Extreme Rocker says he was playing nice with Trump after he was indicted for corruption in order to get pardoned, which he got to help Trump if he got reelected, which he dropped out a while ago. LOL. Well, there you go. Well, I'm not from New York, but as I see it, that's pretty much the story. And Mark says, bad host, LOL. Amanda needs to hit ya. What makes you think she don't?
That's right.
$, $, $, $,
percentage, $,
And Mark says, percentage, $, percentage, $.
See, chalk up another one. Two rights for me in 30 minutes. Woohoo, LOL.
Mm-hmm. And Judy says, LOL. And Mark says, LOL. OL. Woohoo. That's laugh out loud. Just for those listening. But I did mistype in one, and he has read so far.
Oh, yeah. Back him up. Y'all men stick together.
That's how it goes. Bros before hoes, yo.
Mm-hmm.
And Mark says, ha. LOLOLIL. Laugh out loud.
A little.
In Lederhosen. Laugh out loud in Lederhosen. I like it. Mark says, I swear I'm on earth to sow confusion. Take that victory. And she said, you were close. Take that victory.
LOL, Mark. I'm going to kick your butt. Right?
It's all right. And Mark says, kick my colon. Oh, how dare you. And Debbie says, Mark, psst, it's swear. And so the correction is for Amanda. Us girls stick together too. I wasn't going to say anything. I mean, he did just give me $5. I'm not going to correct his English.
His English is his second language anyway.
Extreme Rocker says, so Silva was quite enjoying seeing on the debates. Silva, I know that name. I don't remember who it is, though. I know it's a politician, but I don't remember where. Which debate are you referring to, Extreme Rocker? And Mark says, that's not allowed, Debbie. Show me a nip. And I'll give you the full frontal. There you go. And Amanda
Oh.
says,
I knew Debbie had my back.
girl power.
That's right.
And Mark says, thank you, LOL. English is my second language. I knew swear looked weird. Well, if you're Southern, it looks perfectly fine. We swear all the time.
Right.
I swear.
Swear.
Nick Smith says, what kind of cigarettes? I make my own cigarettes, but tonight, LD 100s. That's long dong 100s. Or low down 100s. And Mark says, how'd you know what it was, what I was wearing? How did you know what I was wearing? Later, Hosen. I just had a guess. With a name like Mark with a C? Later, Hosen. Extreme Rocker says, though I don't blame your observations of New York politics, there is a definite problem here with the Democrats. Though it'll soon be red, I just hope George Santos isn't the one that gets elected here. Yeah, that guy's a little schmarmy, isn't he? He reminds me of a guy that sweats for no reason. You know what I'm talking about? The kind of guy that's got sweaty hands. I don't like that guy at all. If he's a Republican, I don't want none of that.
I hope Ma'am Donnie don't make it for New York, really.
I do too. That guy's scary. I hate to say it, but Cuomo kind of had his little thing going there. I don't know if it was good for New York. It wasn't like it was when the other guy had it. What's the guy's name that ended up working as a lawyer for Trump? The stop and frisk guy. I can't remember his name. He was a better New York guy than Cuomo. But until COVID happened, Cuomo had it under control. It seemed like it was kind of Democrat, but it wasn't like far left, you know. I don't know. I don't know what you can do for New York. But Mandani isn't it for sure.
Ruby Giuliani.
Giuliani, that's the guy I was thinking of.
Thanks, Extreme.
Yeah, appreciate that. Extreme says, Sliwa is a Republican of New York, Canada. Okay, got it. What it is says, you're crazy. I am crazy. I'm a wild and crazy guy. And I have no problem making a jackass of myself for your entertainment. And Nick says, oh, gay cigs, if they are called log dog. Whatever, dude. Did you come in here just to insult me? You think that's going to make you look cool? Does your mommy know that you do that to get points for friends? Are you under the impression that your little words can affect me in any way, shape, or form? They can't. But thank you for trying. Maybe one day you'll matter enough to actually insult me. And Debbie says, what's the low down on the long dong? Whatever it is, Jake's puffing it. They actually are cheap and they're good. So I like it. And I don't have to sit here making every one of them every night. I get tired of that, so I buy cigarettes occasionally.
LOL, damn, Debbie.
And Mark says, sounds like Jake's chat's going to jump.
Shouldn't jump too far. You're at the bottom. 11:43.
Sounds like a British cigarette. Yeah, the LD. I don't know where they're from. Probably India or something. They're dollar store, $4 a pack. So.
They're probably from North Carolina or somewhere in that area.
Well, it does say American blend on it, but I don't know where it's from.
California.
Made in Turkey. For JT something or other. International. They're Turkish cigarettes. They know how to make tobacco over there. Extreme Rucker says, Rudy Giuliani. Thank you for that. That's the guy I was talking about. I think he was probably better for New York as far as cracking it down and making it a safe place. While he was there, like, Central Park was a nice place to visit, and nobody got mugged, or at least you didn't hear about it. And now you get killed for going across there in the middle of the night, you know. I don't know why you would want to, but if you live in a city, probably do things in the middle of the night. And Nick says, Democrats and Republicans are the same. No, they're not the same. They're complete opposites of each other. What you mean to say is left wing, right wing, same bird. That's what you mean to say. That doesn't make them the same. They are part of the same apparatus. What's your point, by the way? Debbie says, the evil part of me hopes Mandani gets voted in, and New York can be the beta city for what not to do. It could be epic. I understand. I don't understand your sentiment there.
Yes, Debbie.
Hopefully that doesn't happen, though. New York is our shining city on the hill. You know, that's the example of America. We want it to do good. Unfortunately, the Democrats have had other plans, and they've been trying to drag that thing down for a long time now. And they've got their heels dug in like ticks, and it's going to be hard to get rid of them, if possible. I don't even know if it'd be possible. But it and L.A. being the two things you think about from other countries, you want to go to New York City. I would like for that to be a presentable, good city that is representative of the rest of the country. Don't know that it's going to work out that way, but that was the intent when it was built. Extreme Rocker says, Cuomo was a joke here. Everybody hated him. Hochul just makes people miss him, though. Yeah, I understand. I didn't like Cuomo either, but as far as between him and Mandani, I'd rather have Cuomo, but I didn't like him either. And Nick says, no, I'm not under any impression. Well, that's good. Just questioning the name. I didn't name it. They're just cigarettes, man. I'm not a brand guy, so. And Mark says, interesting. Maxwell Wilson says, hey, do you want to hear a joke? I sure do. I'm on the edge of my seat. Tell me a joke. Make it a good one. Extreme Rocker says, Mamdani seems like a nice dude, but he is someone who just gives empty promises and definitely not mayor material. Sliwa is better, but we need better people. Yeah, the problem with Mamdani is not whether he's nice. It's that he is a strong socialist. You don't need that in New York. That will make your city go downhill. Socialism and communism always ends in starvation and genocide. There is no other way. It is a broken system. It does not work. It will not ever work, no matter who tries it. So I'm telling you, that's the problem. I'm sure he's a lovely guy, but he's not the guy you want running your city. But I agree, you need better people in the running. Maxwell says, what does a chip bag and a push-up bra have in common? They both have a man's hand in them? I don't know. Something man's hand. Tell me. Maxwell says, once you open it, you realize it's half empty. Ha! Push-up bra. I got it. That's a good joke, Maxwell. And also true, because a push-up bra is making it look like you got stuff you don't have. Only a child would think like that, Nick. Only a child. I'm not complaining, Nick. You're instigating. Nobody here is complaining, and nobody here needs you. So, bye-bye. How's that for an old fatty? And Mark says, where's the banhammer, LOL? Someone here needs time out. They got it. Amanda says,
LOL. Okay, Debbie, you go, girl.
that's 2 in one night.
I know. Debbie's on a roll.
She's racking them up.
She's hiding in the corner, kicking them out.
And Mark says, someone's parents never disciplined that man, so I guess y'all have to do it.
Probably a child.
Probably a child. And it's that time of night. Extreme Rocker says, it will be possible to get New York back from Dems. I might be after this election or the one after. It might be. Yeah, it's possible. It could happen. And if it does, that'd be great, because you guys got a lot of Republicans or conservatives in that area. It's a pure circumstance. They engineered the circumstance that allowed them to win so many elections. They're really good at winning elections, but they're actually outnumbered. If you look at the map where Trump won, where every swing state trended Republican and every Democrat state trended Republican in the last election, he won by a landslide, not even a little bit. He won by a lot. And that was even with all the cheating and the lowering of the numbers, and he still came out on top by a lot. Yeah, it won't be hard for you to win it back if you get the right people in office or in the running, and they're really good at that ground game, and people come out and vote. It could happen. Extreme Rocker says, however, I don't have faith in either side. I just hope we will have unity soon. I agree with that, Extreme Rocker. I don't have hope in either side either. I'm a Trump guy because of what he brought to the table, not because I'm a sycophant or because I think he's a savior. He's not. He's just another guy. He's going to do things his way, which is a little different than the way everybody else does it, and then we'll be back on to business as usual. That's fine. I just wanted a shake-up in the system, and he provided it. But what we need to do is pull together as Americans and stop letting politicians run the show. They work for us, after all.
This is our damn country.
So if we could pull together and make a stand and say this is the way it's going to be, they would have no choice but to capitulate and do it that way. But we got to get together, and we got to stop hating each other. We got to start having more debates, more conversations, more communities.
No, they had to make sure they took out our best debater, though.
But that's why this is so important, this show, because we need more of this. More people coming together and sharing ideas. More people that disagree and can still shake hands. More people, less shooting. April says, wowee, you're still here? Love you, Amanda and Jake. Yeah, I'm about to quit right now. I'm at the bottom. Amanda says,
Ooh, bottom of the chat.
Judy says, hey, April.
And for a few, April.
And April says, hi, everybody, right on. And Debbie says, my vote for Trump was not a love letter to Trump. It was for his policies. Right. And Judy says, right, Debbie. Extreme Rocker says, politicians and greedy corporate America have to go.
Agreed, Debbie. And agreed, Rocker.
And Rocker says, all caught up. That's it. All-Star Sports says, hi, sorry to bother you. Are you pro-Israel or pro-Palestine? I can't be pro-Palestine because Palestine does not exist. So I'm neither. Israel has a right to be their own country and defend themselves. and they can do whatever they're going to do. That's none of my business. I'm an American, so I worry about what happens in America. But as far as Palestine goes, there is no place called Palestine. That is a fictitious anomaly. And April says, hi, Judy, Mark, and Extreme. Good to see you.
Yeah, you can't show us Palestine on a map.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. And April says, Debbie, hugs, good to see you. Extreme says, hey, April. Mark says, hey, April, welcome in. And All Star Sports says, finally, somebody understands. Well, hit that subscribe button. Unfortunately, I'm leaving, so you'll have to catch me tomorrow. But welcome here, and I hope you come back. April says, hi, All Star. Amanda?
Nighters, I'll see you tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Untethered Live for Bible study. Much love, y'all.
And Mark says, sorry, I was just listening for a bit. How are you tonight? I'm glad you're here.
Thanks, Mark. All Stars for subscribing.
Yeah, thank you, Mark.
All Star.
All Star. April says, thanks, Mark. That's why I said that.
That's why I said it too.
I was in and out earlier. KY was on tonight.
That's her other boyfriend.
See, why would you come to my show and talk about somebody else's show? It's like stabbing me in the heart. April says, I'll see y'all tomorrow for sure. Excellent. Extreme says, good night, everyone. Always glad to be here. I'm glad to have you here. And April says, love and hugs. All-Star says, do you believe that Islam spreads hate and suffering? Of course I do. Too late to get into a philosophical argument. I'm leaving, but I'll talk to you about it tomorrow. And Judy says, bye, y'all. And Mark says, good night, you guys. Sleep well and stay safe, as with you. April says, LOL, I'm sorry. That's all right. I love you, Jake. You know that. I know that. And I love you, too. And I love all of you. And I've had a great time tonight. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the super chats. I love each and every one of you. Come see me tomorrow night for Bible study. We'll get serious, talk about some serious stuff. Have a great night. God bless you. Thanks for politi-ticking with me, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.
Good night, y'all.